Heart Mending Seamstress. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Eldridge, there lived a humble seamstress named Olivia. She was known far and wide for her skillful hands and compassionate heart. Olivia lived a simple life, content with stitching together fabrics and creating beautiful garments for the villagers. Little did she know that her life was about to take a magical turn. One day, while wandering through the bustling market, Olivia stumbled upon a mysterious antique shop tucked away in a narrow alley. The shop seemed to beckon her with an invisible force, drawing her inside. The air was thick with the scent of ancient leather and forgotten tales. As Olivia browsed through the eclectic collection, her eyes fell upon a small, dusty box. Intrigued, she opened it to find a delicate silver needle with an enchanting glow. The moment Olivia touched it, she felt a surge of warmth and energy coursing through her veins. Little did she know that this was no ordinary needle. It was a magical needle with the power to mend not just fabrics, but broken hearts. Olivia decided to test the needle's magical abilities, and she set to work on a tattered old quilt that had seen better days. As she guided the needle through the fabric, she noticed the threads weaving themselves together, creating a seamless and beautiful tapestry. Astonished, she realized the true power of the magical needle. News of Olivia's incredible needle spread throughout the village, reaching the ears of those in need. Broken hearts and shattered spirits sought solace in her small workshop, where she used the magical needle to mend not only torn fabrics, but also the emotional wounds that plagued the villagers. A young couple on the brink of separation came to Olivia, their hearts heavy with sorrow. With delicate stitches and a touch of magic, she repaired the fabric of their love, leaving them more connected and resilient than ever. An elderly widow, grieving the loss of her lifelong companion, found comfort as Olivia worked the magical needle, weaving together memories and warmth. As Olivia continued to use the magical needle, her reputation as a healer of hearts spread far beyond the borders of Eldridge. People from neighbouring villages travelled to seek her guidance, and tales of her extraordinary gift reached the ears of kings and queens. Despite the newfound attention, Olivia remained humble and devoted to her craft. She understood the true magic lay not in the needle itself, but in the love and compassion she poured into her work. And so, the humble seamstress continued to mend the world, one fabric and one heart at a time, leaving a legacy of healing and kindness for generations to come. The Lonely Dragon. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a young girl named Petunia. Petunia was known for her enchanting gift of storytelling. Her tales wove a tapestry of wonder, captivating the hearts of those who listened. However, despite her ability to transport others to magical realms with her words, Petunia often felt a sense of loneliness herself. One day, as Petunia wandered into the depths of the ancient forest, she stumbled upon a clearing where an immense dragon lay curled up, its scales shimmering like a sea of emeralds. The dragon, named Orion, was unlike any creature Petunia had ever encountered. Instead of the fierce, menacing image often associated with dragons, Orion exuded a quiet sadness. Curiosity overcoming fear, Petunia approached the dragon cautiously. To her surprise, Orion looked at her with eyes that held a profound loneliness. Sensing a kindred spirit, Petunia began to speak, weaving tales of adventure, love, and friendship. Orion listened intently, and as Petunia continued to share her stories, the dragon's eyes sparkled with newfound light. Days turned into weeks, and Petunia visited Orion regularly. The bond between them grew stronger, transcending the barriers of language. Through Petunia's tales, Orion found solace in the power of words, discovering the magic of connection and understanding. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow upon the forest, Petunia shared a story about bravery and the importance of facing one's fears. Inspired by her words, Orion uncoiled his massive form and spread his wings wide. Together, they soared through the skies, Petunia riding on Orion's back. Word of the unlikely friendship between Petunia and Orion spread throughout the village. The once feared dragon became a symbol of hope and friendship. Petunia's gift of storytelling not only brought joy to those around her, but also healed the wounds of a lonely dragon. In the end, Petunia and Orion taught the village that the power of words could bridge the gaps between different beings and create bonds that transcended appearances. The once isolated girl and the lonely dragon proved that in the magic of storytelling, true friendship could flourish, and the world could become a more enchanting place for those who dared to share their hearts. And so, Petunia and Orion continued to explore the wonders of their newfound connection, creating a story that would be told for generations to come. The Eternal Winter. I want to tell you a story. In the small village of Eldora, nestled between snow-covered mountains, an eternal winter had cast its icy grip. The once vibrant community now lived in perpetual cold, their spirits frozen along with the landscape. But amidst the frozen despair, there was a brave girl named Quinn who dared to dream of warmth and sunlight. Quinn was unlike the other villagers. Her heart burned with a fiery determination to free her people from the curse that had plagued them for generations. Legends spoke of a mythical being known as the Spring Sprite, a magical creature said to hold the key to breaking the eternal winter. Undeterred by the skeptics and naysayers, Quinn set out on a perilous journey to find the elusive sprite. Wrapped in a thick cloak and armed with a lantern that flickered against the biting wind, Quinn ventured into the heart of the snow-covered forest. The trees, burdened by the weight of snow, stood like silent sentinels guarding the secrets of the enchanted woods. As she pressed on, the air grew colder and the snow deeper. After days of wandering, Quinn stumbled upon a shimmering pool at the centre of the forest. Moonlight reflected off its surface, revealing a silhouette dancing within the water, a figure that radiated warmth and vitality. It was the Spring Sprite, a creature of ethereal beauty with petals for hair and a gown woven from blooming flowers. Quinn approached cautiously, her breath forming delicate clouds in the frozen air. The Spring Sprite turned to her, eyes sparkling with the promise of life. "Brave one, why have you sought me out?" the sprite asked, its voice a melody that thawed the coldest corners of Quinn's heart. "I come from the cursed village of Eldora," Quinn explained, her words carrying the weight of her people's suffering. "We live in perpetual winter, and I seek your help to bring back warmth and life." The Spring Sprite nodded solemnly, recognizing the urgency in Quinn's plea. "To break the curse, you must prove your courage and compassion. You must gather the rarest blossoms from the highest peaks and share them with the villagers." Determined to save her home, Quinn set out once again, scaling treacherous cliffs and braving icy winds. Along her journey, she faced challenges that tested her resilience and compassion. Yet, with each obstacle overcome, she gathered the elusive blossoms that bloomed only in the harshest conditions. Returning to Eldora with the radiant flowers in hand, Quinn distributed them among the villagers. As the petals touched the frozen ground, a miracle unfolded. The ice began to recede, and the world transformed. The eternal winter's grip loosened, and the warmth of spring returned to Eldora. The villagers, once resigned to a life of endless cold, now danced beneath blossoming trees, their gratitude echoing through the revitalized village. Quinn, having proven her bravery and compassion, stood at the center of the celebration, the Spring Sprite watching over her creation, with a smile that mirrored the newfound warmth in Eldora. And so the tale of Quinn and the Spring Sprite became a cherished legend, a story whispered through generations, reminding the villagers that even in the coldest of times, courage and compassion could bring forth the warmth of spring. The Mischievous Gnome. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time in the enchanting kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a kind-hearted princess named River. River was known for her gentle nature, compassion, and love for all creatures, big and small. One day, as she strolled through the lush gardens of the royal palace, she came across a peculiar sight, a mischievous gnome named Grumblewort. Grumblewort was a small, wiry fellow with a long white beard and a pointy hat that always seemed a bit too big for his head. He had a reputation for playing pranks on the royal court and causing mischief throughout the kingdom. While others found Grumblewort's antics bothersome, Princess River couldn't help but see a glimmer of loneliness in his mischievous eyes. Instead of scolding the gnome, River approached him with a warm smile. "Hello there, Grumblewort. What brings you to the royal gardens today?" Grumblewort, taken aback by River's kindness, stammered, I was just, enjoying the flowers, Your Highness." River laughed. "Well, I'm glad to have some company. Would you like to explore the gardens together?" As they wandered through the gardens, River and Grumblewort discovered a shared love for nature and a curiosity for the world around them. Grumblewort's mischievous pranks became playful jokes, and River found joy in embracing the gnome's quirks. Despite their differences, a genuine friendship blossomed between the princess and the gnome. One day, as they sat by a sparkling pond, Grumblewort sighed. "Princess, I've never had a friend like you. Most people get annoyed with my pranks and antics." River smiled and replied, "Grumblewort, everyone is unique in their own way, and that's what makes the world a beautiful place. Embracing our quirks is what makes us special. Your mischievous spirit brings a different kind of magic to Eldoria." Grumblewort, touched by River's words, realized that he didn't need to seek attention through pranks. Instead, he could be himself and still find acceptance and friendship. Word of Princess River's friendship with Grumblewort spread throughout the kingdom, and the once mischievous gnome became a beloved member of the royal court. River's kindness and open-heartedness had not only transformed Grumblewort, but also taught the entire kingdom the importance of embracing each other's quirks and differences. And so, in the kingdom of Eldoria, the tale of the kind-hearted princess and the mischievous gnome became a cherished story, reminding all who heard it that true friendship could bloom in the most unexpected places and that the magic of acceptance could transform even the quirkiest of characters into beloved companions. The Mechanical Duo. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Eldoria, there lived a young and ambitious inventor named Cassandra. From a very early age, she'd been fascinated by the whirring gears, ticking clocks, and mysterious mechanisms that powered the world around her. Her workshop, a cluttered haven of creativity, was filled with half-finished contraptions and prototypes. One day, as the kingdom fell under the shadow of the wicked sorceress Morgana, Cassandra decided it was time to put her skills to the test. The sorceress had cast a dark spell upon the land, turning fields barren and rivers toxic. The once thriving kingdom now languished in despair, and the people cried out for a hero to save them. Determined to make a difference, Cassandra delved into her workshop, fueled by a newfound purpose. After countless sleepless nights and tireless efforts, she unveiled her masterpiece, a mechanical companion named Gearwin. With gleaming metal limbs, a polished brass exterior, and a glowing core powered by the purest magic, Gearwin was a marvel to behold. But he was more than just a creation. He was a friend to Cassandra, a loyal companion ready to assist her in any way possible. The duo set forth on their quest, venturing into the desolate lands that had once been a thriving countryside. Along their journey, they encountered challenges and puzzles that required both Cassandra's inventive mind and Gearwin's sturdy frame. They faced enchanted creatures sent by Morgana to stop them, and each encounter only strengthened their bond. As they approached Morgana's dark tower, the air thick with malevolence, the sorceress herself emerged to confront them. A battle of wits and magic ensued, with Cassandra cleverly deploying her inventions and Gearwin standing firm against Morgana's dark spells. It was a perilous struggle, but the duo's determination and teamwork proved to be a force to be reckoned with. In a final showdown, Cassandra unleashed a creation she had saved for this very moment, a dazzling array of enchanted mirrors that reflected Morgana's own dark magic back upon her. The sorceress, caught off guard, was temporarily weakened, providing Gawain the opportunity to deliver the finishing blow. As Morgana's power waned, the curse that had plagued the kingdom lifted. Fields flourished, rivers ran clear, and hope returned to the hearts of the people. Cassandra and Gawain were hailed as heroes, their story becoming a legend told across the land. With the kingdom saved, Cassandra and Gawain returned to Eldoria, their friendship enduring beyond their quest. The once aspiring inventor had become a true hero, and her mechanical companion had proven that even the most fantastical dreams could come to life. Together they continued to create wonders, inspiring future generations to embrace the power of innovation and the strength that lies in friendship. The Mirror of Truth. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there lived a curious and kind-hearted girl named Tracy. Tracy was known for her vibrant spirit and infectious laughter, a ray of sunshine in the tight-knit community. However, little did she know that her life was about to take a magical turn. One day, while exploring the outskirts of the village near the ancient Whispering Woods, Tracy stumbled upon a peculiar object half buried in the undergrowth. To her amazement, it was a beautifully ornate mirror, unlike anything she'd ever seen. Its silver frame was adorned with intricate carvings of mythical creatures, and its surface seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly glow. Drawn to the mysterious mirror, Tracy cautiously approached it and gazed into its reflective surface. At first, she saw only her own reflection, but then the mirror began to shift. Tracy's eyes widened as the images changed, revealing the true nature of those who gazed into its depths. Intrigued, Tracy decided to share her discovery with the villagers. As news of the magical mirror spread, the people of Willowbrook flocked to witness its wonders. Some were delighted to see their own goodness reflected back at them, while others recoiled at the unsettling truth revealed by the mirror. The mirror became both a source of joy and trepidation in the village. Friends learned more about each other, and secrets long hidden came to light. Tracy, with her pure heart and genuine nature, continued to use the mirror as a force for good. She helped mend broken relationships and encouraged honesty and compassion among her fellow villagers. However, not everyone welcomed the mirror's revelations. Some grew fearful of facing the truth about themselves and distanced themselves from Tracy and the magical artifact. As tensions rose, the village faced a moment of reckoning. Tracy, realizing the impact of the mirror on her community, decided to find a way to bring harmony back to Willowbrook. She embarked on a quest to uncover the mirror's origins and purpose, seeking guidance from the wise old sage who lived on the outskirts of the Whispering Woods. Through trials and challenges, Tracy discovered that the mirror was a gift from ancient beings who wanted to test the strength and goodness of the human spirit. With newfound wisdom, she returned to the village and shared her insights, urging her fellow villagers to embrace the opportunity for self-improvement and understanding. In the end, the people of Willowbrook learned to appreciate the mirror not as a tool for judgment, but as a catalyst for personal growth and community unity. Tracy's courage and compassion had turned a potentially divisive force into a source of strength, bringing about a positive transformation in the village that would be remembered for generations to come. And so, Willowbrook continued to thrive, bathed in the warm light of truth and understanding. The Unusual Baking Team. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Sugarvale, nestled between rolling hills and blooming meadows, there lived a talented baker named Ilara. She ran a cosy bakery known far and wide for its delectable treats. Ilara's greatest joy, however, was her daughter, Utopia. Utopia, a spirited and curious girl, spent her days exploring the enchanting woods that surrounded Sugarvale. One sunny afternoon, as she strolled through the forest, she heard a peculiar chittering sound. Following the noise, Utopia discovered a small, fluffy squirrel with a coat as golden as honey. "Hello there, what's your name?" Utopia asked, crouching down to the squirrel's level. "I'm Sweetsworth, and I have a serious sweet tooth," the squirrel replied, its eyes gleaming mischievously. Utopia chuckled, intrigued by the idea of a squirrel with a penchant for sweets. They quickly became fast friends, and Sweetsworth would often accompany Utopia on her woodland adventures. One day, while exploring a particularly dense thicket, they stumbled upon a hidden glade bathed in golden light. At the center of the glade was an ancient oak tree, and nestled within its roots was a magical recipe book bound in shimmering gold. Utopia gingerly opened the book, revealing pages filled with recipes that seemed to glow with a magical aura. "It's the baker's grimoire. Legend has it that it holds the secrets to the most extraordinary pastries and confections," Sweetsworth exclaimed, his eyes widening with excitement. Together, Utopia and Sweetsworth decided to try one of the recipes, a spellbinding cake that could grant a single wish to anyone who tasted it. With flour, sugar, and a pinch of fairy dust, they followed the instructions, the forest around them coming alive with magical energy. As the cake baked in the oven, the air filled with a sweet and enchanting aroma. The moment it was ready, Utopia and Sweetsworth shared a slice. The magic of the cake infused their surroundings, and suddenly the forest seemed brighter and the colours more vibrant. With a twinkle in her eye, Utopia made her wish. As the words left her lips, a shower of golden sparkles enveloped her, and her deepest desire was granted. From that day forward, Utopia and Sweetsworth continued to explore the magical world that the baker's grimoire had unlocked. The news of their adventures spread throughout Sugarvale, and the villagers marvelled at the wonders that came from Ilara's enchanted recipes. The bond between Utopia and Sweetsworth, forged in the heart of the mystical forest, became a legend in itself, a tale of friendship, magic, and the sweetest of dreams. The Courageous Archer. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of the enchanted forests, where ancient trees whispered secrets and magical creatures roamed freely, there lived a young archer named Kieran. She hailed from a humble village nestled on the edge of the enchanted realm. Life was peaceful until an ominous shadow cast its darkness upon her family. A wicked witch known as Seraphina had cursed Kieran's family, condemning them to a life of perpetual sorrow. Desperate to break the curse, Kieran embarked on a perilous journey through the mystical woods, her trusty bow and arrow at her side. As Kieran ventured deeper into the enchanted realm, the air crackled with magic, and the trees seemed to come alive with an otherworldly energy. Her path led her to the Grove of Whispers, a place said to hold the key to unravelling the dark magic that bound her family. Legend spoke of a mystical flower hidden within the grove, the starlight bloom. Its petals were rumoured to possess the power to counteract any curse. However, the grove was guarded by the cunning witch Seraphina, who had a keen sense for intruders. Undeterred, Kieran pressed on, guided by the ancient tales and the whispers of the wind. She moved with the grace of a skilled archer, her senses heightened by the enchantments that surrounded her. The deeper she delved into the grove, the more the magical barrier protecting it grew treacherous. Seraphina, sensing Kieran's presence, emerged from the shadows. The witch's eyes gleamed with malevolence, and her voice echoed like a haunting melody. "You dare to defy my curse, little archer," Seraphina taunted. "Your family is mine, and there is no escape." But Kieran stood firm, her determination fueled by love and the hope of breaking the curse. She skillfully navigated the magical traps set by Seraphina, relying on her wit and agility to outsmart the cunning witch. Along the way, she encountered mystical creatures that, touched by her bravery, offered guidance and assistance. As Kieran reached the heart of the grove, she beheld the starlight bloom, its delicate petals bathed in an ethereal glow. With great care, she plucked the flower, feeling its magical essence coursing through her veins. The air shimmered with a newfound energy, and the curse's grip on her family began to wane. Seraphina, realizing her power slipping away, unleashed her darkest spells in a final attempt to thwart Kieran. The forest itself seemed to protest, but Kieran, fueled by love and courage, stood strong. With a mighty shot from her enchanted bow, she redirected Seraphina's magic back upon her, trapping the witch in her own web of curses. The enchanted forests rejoiced as the curse was lifted, and life returned to Kieran's village. Her family embraced her with tears of joy, grateful for their daughter's bravery. The once dreaded witch Seraphina was now imprisoned within the enchanted woods, her malevolence contained by the very magic she had sought to control. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow upon the now serene forest, Kieran knew that her journey had not only saved her family, but had also left an indelible mark on the enchanted realm. The trees whispered words of gratitude, and the mystical creatures bowed in acknowledgement of the young archer who had outsmarted the cunning witch and brought light to the darkness. The Dark Library. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a curious girl named Iris. Iris was known for her insatiable appetite for knowledge and her unquenchable thirst for adventure. One day, while exploring the outskirts of the village, she stumbled upon a mysterious door hidden beneath a tangle of ivy-covered vines. Intrigued by the unknown, Iris pushed aside the vines and discovered an ancient library concealed within the heart of the forest. The air inside was thick with the scent of old parchment, and the shelves were lined with dusty books that seemed to whisper forgotten tales. The room was bathed in an otherworldly glow, casting an ethereal light on the spines of the books. Drawn by a mysterious force, Iris began to peruse the shelves. To her amazement, the books contained fairy tales that were unlike any she had ever heard before. These were not the cheerful stories of happily ever afters and gallant heroes. Instead, they spoke of the darker side of magic, the consequences of unchecked desires, and the price one pays for meddling with the supernatural. Intrigued, Iris selected a weathered volume titled The Cursed Crown. As she delved into the tale, she learned of a princess who, driven by greed and ambition, sought a crown rumoured to bestow incredible power. However, the crown came with a dark curse that brought tragedy and sorrow to the princess and her kingdom. Shaken by the unexpected turn of events in the story, Iris hesitated but then continued to explore more books. Each one revealed a hidden facet of the fantastical world, where not every character found solace or redemption. There were stories of enchanted forests that turned sinister, mermaids with hearts as cold as the ocean depths, and wishes granted at the cost of unimaginable sacrifice. As Iris delved deeper into the hidden library, she felt a mix of fascination and trepidation. The tales were cautionary, warning against the lure of unchecked curiosity and the consequences of blind ambition. Yet, they also held a certain allure, a reminder that life was complex and unpredictable. In time, Iris realized that the library itself was a keeper of stories that the world had chosen to forget, perhaps for good reason. The forgotten fairy tales left an indelible mark on her, shaping her worldview and instilling a newfound appreciation for the delicate balance between light and shadow. Armed with the wisdom gleaned from the hidden library, Iris returned to her village, determined to share the lessons she had learned. She became a storyteller, weaving narratives that transcended the boundaries of conventional fairy tales, offering listeners a glimpse into the intricate tapestry of life's joys and sorrows. And so, Iris became a guardian of the forgotten stories, a beacon of knowledge in a world that often preferred the comfort of cheerful endings. In her tales, she celebrated the complexity of human nature, the beauty in imperfection, and the understanding that not all stories have happy endings, but they all contribute to the rich tapestry of the human experience. The Walking Mermaid. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the shimmering depths of the ocean, there lived a mermaid named Marina. She was enchanted by the stories of the world above, a place where the sun kissed the sky and creatures walked on legs instead of fins. Marina's heart longed to explore this mysterious realm, and her desire grew stronger with each passing day. One day, as Marina swam near the surface, she spotted a sea witch known for her magical abilities. The mermaid approached the witch and expressed her deepest desire to experience the world above. The sea witch, intrigued by the yearning in Marina's eyes, proposed a trade, the mermaid's melodious voice in exchange for a pair of legs. Marina accepted the sea witch's offer. The ocean resonated with the haunting melody of her final song as the magical exchange took place. As the last note faded away, Marina felt a strange transformation. Her shimmering tail split into two, forming delicate legs that seemed to defy gravity. With newfound legs, Marina emerged from the water and stepped onto the sandy shore. The world above was as enchanting as she had imagined. She walked through bustling villages, admired vibrant flowers, and felt the warmth of the sun on her face. Yet something was missing. Though surrounded by the beauty of the surface world, Marina couldn't communicate with its inhabitants, share stories, and express their feelings through words. The mermaid, now mute, realized the true value of communication. In her quest to explore the world, she had lost the very essence of connection. Marina longed to share her thoughts and experiences, but her voiceless condition left her isolated. One day, as she wandered along the shore, Marina encountered a kind-hearted fisherman named Elias. Intrigued by her silent presence, Elias extended a hand in friendship. Though she couldn't speak, Marina found solace in Elias's company. Through gestures, expressions, and a shared love for the sea, they formed a unique bond that transcended words. And Elias explored the world together, learning the art of silent communication. Marina discovered that true connection went beyond spoken language. Love, friendship, and understanding could be expressed through actions, expressions, and the silent language of the heart. In the end, Marina realized that the world above was not just a place of visual wonders, but a realm of emotional depth and connection. With Elias by her side, she found a voice in the silence, a language that echoed through the waves and resonated in the depths of their hearts, proving that sometimes the most profound communication transcends words. The living paintings. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time in the quaint town of Eldoria, there lived a gifted artist named Katie. She was an ordinary girl with an extraordinary talent. Her paintings had the power to come to life. Katie discovered her unique ability one sunny afternoon while experimenting with her paintbrush in her cozy attic studio. As Katie painted a serene meadow filled with vibrant flowers, she was astonished when a gentle breeze blew through the canvas, carrying the sweet scent of blossoms into the room. To her amazement, the flowers on the canvas began to sway in rhythm with the wind. At first, she thought it was a dream, but as she continued to paint, she realized that her art possessed a magical quality. Word spread quickly about Katie's incredible gift, and soon people from far and wide flocked to Eldoria to witness her enchanting creations. The once sleepy town transformed into a bustling hub of creativity and wonder, all centered around Katie's magical art. However, as Katie's fame grew, so did the responsibility that came with her creative power. She learned that every stroke of her brush had consequences. A mischievous painting of playful kittens caused chaos in the town square, as the adorable felines leaped out of the canvas, leaving a trail of laughter and overturned market stalls. Katie realized that her gift, while wondrous, needed to be tempered with responsibility. She began to paint with purpose, creating scenes that inspired kindness, joy, and unity. Her art became a force for good, bringing harmony and happiness to Eldoria. One day, as Katie stood in her studio contemplating the weight of her ability, she painted a magnificent tree with branches that reached high into the sky. Birds emerged from the canvas, singing in harmony. The tree bore fruit that glowed with an ethereal light, symbolizing the positive impact of her art on the world. Katie's journey taught her that creativity carried a profound responsibility. She embraced her role as a guardian of the magical balance between imagination and reality. Her paintings not only entertained but also inspired the people of Eldoria to be better, to cherish the beauty around them, and to nurture the magic within their own lives. As the years passed, Katie's art became a legend, a testament to the transformative power of creativity wielded with love and responsibility. Eldoria flourished, not just as a town, but as a living canvas, painted with the colours of a community that understood the true essence of the magic Katie had shared with them. The Griffin and the Healer. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets and mystical creatures roamed freely, lived a young healer named Lila. With eyes the colour of emeralds and a heart as pure as the morning dew, she possessed a gift that set her apart from the other denizens of the forest, the ability to mend wounds with a touch. One serene afternoon, as Lila was gathering medicinal herbs, she heard a pained cry echoing through the trees. Following the sound, she stumbled upon a wounded griffin lying in a clearing. Its majestic wings were tattered, and its golden eyes pleaded for help. Though griffins were known for their fierceness, Lila sensed a vulnerability in this majestic creature. Without hesitation, Lila approached the wounded griffin. She could feel the raw pain emanating from its wounds. Gently, she placed her hands on the griffin's feathers, channeling her healing energy into its battered body. As her hands glowed with a soft, soothing light, the griffin's wounds began to close, and the pain faded away. In gratitude, the griffin nuzzled against Lila, forming a bond that transcended the boundaries between species. Lila decided to name her newfound friend Aurum, inspired by the golden hues of its magnificent feathers. As days passed, Lila and Aurum explored the enchanted forest together. They encountered various creatures, some friendly and others less so. Yet, with Lila's healing touch and Aurum's protective presence, they managed to navigate the challenges of the magical realm. One day, they stumbled upon a wounded troll, known for their fierce and unfriendly nature. Lila hesitated, but her compassionate heart prevailed. She approached the troll, her healing powers at the ready. The troll, initially wary, allowed Lila to mend its wounds. In that moment, a transformation occurred. The once hostile troll now regarded Lila with gratitude and even managed a timid smile. Lila realized that compassion could bridge gaps between even the most unlikely companions. Her journey with Aurum taught her that healing went beyond physical wounds. It extended to the wounds of the heart and soul. Together, Lila and Aurum became ambassadors of compassion in the enchanted forest, fostering understanding and unity among its diverse inhabitants. Their tales spread far and wide, becoming a legend that echoed through the ancient trees. Lila's healing touch and the unlikely friendship with Aurum became a beacon of hope, teaching everyone that compassion had the power to transform even the darkest corners of the magical realm into places of light and understanding. The Backyard Discovery. I want to tell you a story. Maggie had always been a curious girl with a vivid imagination. Her backyard was her favourite place to explore, and one sunny afternoon as she was playing near the old oak tree, something caught her eye. There, nestled among the ivy-covered branches, was a small, intricately carved door. Intrigued, Maggie approached the mysterious door. She brushed away the leaves and noticed a tiny golden keyhole. Remembering the antique key she had found in her grandmother's attic, Maggie eagerly retrieved it from her pocket. To her amazement, the key fit perfectly, and with a creak, the door swung open. On the other side, Maggie found herself in a world unlike anything she had ever imagined. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and vibrant colours painted the landscape. Talking animals roamed freely, and enchanted gardens stretched as far as the eye could see. Maggie's eyes widened as a wise old owl approached her. "Welcome, young one, to the enchanted garden," the owl said in a deep melodic voice. "You are the chosen guardian of this magical realm." Amazed and a little bewildered, Maggie followed the owl through the winding paths of the garden. Each step unveiled new wonders, singing birds, mischievous fairies, and sparkling fountains that danced to a magical tune. The flora seemed to respond to Maggie's presence, blooming in vibrant displays of colour. As the days passed, Maggie befriended the talking animals and learned about the responsibilities of being the guardian of the enchanted garden. She discovered that the garden's magic was linked to the well-being of its inhabitants, and her role was to ensure harmony and balance. One day, a mischievous group of imps attempted to disrupt the harmony of the enchanted garden. Maggie, with newfound confidence and the help of her animal friends, thwarted their plans. Grateful for her bravery, the creatures of the garden bestowed upon Maggie a magical amulet that would allow her to visit their world whenever she desired. With a final goodbye to her enchanted friends, Maggie stepped back through the small door into her ordinary backyard. The carved door remained a secret, known only to her and the magical realm beyond. From that day forward, whenever Maggie craved adventure and the company of talking animals, she would use the enchanted amulet to open the door and return to the whimsical world she had discovered in her own backyard. The Lonely Banshee. I want to tell you a story. In a small village nestled between mist-covered hills and ancient forests, there lived a musical prodigy named Layla. From a young age, Layla had an extraordinary gift for creating melodies that could enchant even the most hardened hearts. Her fingers danced effortlessly across the piano keys, and her voice possessed a hauntingly beautiful quality that resonated through the air. One day, as Layla was exploring the woods surrounding her village, she heard a soft, melancholic wail. Intrigued, she followed the ethereal sound until she stumbled upon a lonely banshee, sitting atop a moss-covered rock. The banshee's tearful eyes met Layla's, and without a word, Layla felt an unspoken connection. The banshee, named Elizabeth, had long been an outcast in the supernatural world. Her haunting cries frightened away anyone who ventured too close, leaving her in solitude. Layla, however, saw beyond the eerie exterior and recognized the pain that lingered in Elizabeth's eyes. Determined to befriend the banshee, Layla approached her with a gentle smile. "I'm Layla, the village musician. Your voice is unlike anything I've ever heard before. It's both haunting and beautiful." Elizabeth hesitated, but eventually nodded in acknowledgement. Layla began playing a gentle melody on her piano, and to her surprise, Elizabeth's wails transformed into a harmonious accompaniment. Together, they created a unique and enchanting duet that echoed through the forest. As the days passed, Layla and Elizabeth spent their time exploring the wonders of music. Layla taught Elizabeth to embrace her own unique melody, showing her that true beauty lay in the authenticity of one's expression. Elizabeth, in turn, opened Layla's ears to the haunting melodies of the banshee world, creating a fusion of human and supernatural sounds. Word of their extraordinary collaboration spread throughout the village, and soon the once feared banshee became a beloved figure. The villagers gathered to witness Layla and Elizabeth's performances, marvelling at the magical connection between the human musician and the banshee with the haunting voice. In the heart of the forest, Layla and Elizabeth proved that beauty could be found in the most unexpected places. Their friendship became a testament to the power of embracing one's true self and celebrating the unique melodies that each individual brings to the symphony of life. The village, once divided by fear, learned to appreciate the enchanting harmony created by the unlikely duo, a melody that echoed through the mist-covered hills and ancient forests, leaving an everlasting legacy of acceptance and friendship. The Wish Garden. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time in the quaint village of Evervale, there lived a young girl named Patty. Patty possessed a remarkable gift, a green thumb that could turn even the most barren soil into a flourishing garden. Her backyard, a once mundane plot of land, had been transformed into a mesmerizing tapestry of colours, scents, and wonders. Flowers of every hue imaginable bloomed under her tender care, and the air was always filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms. What made Patty's garden truly extraordinary, however, was its secret power. Deep within the heart of her flourishing haven lay a mystical energy that granted wishes to those who truly believed. News of the enchanted garden spread far and wide, drawing people from neighbouring villages who sought its magic. Patty, with her heart full of kindness, welcomed visitors to her garden. She listened to their dreams and desires and guided them through the labyrinth of fragrant petals. But Patty knew that the power of her green thumb was not to be taken lightly. Each wish granted required careful consideration, for the garden's magic operated on a delicate balance that must not be disrupted. One day, a troubled young man named Oliver arrived in Evervale. He had heard of Patty's garden and, desperate for a change in his life, sought her out. Patty, with her empathetic nature, sensed the weight on Oliver's shoulders and agreed to help him. He wished for wealth, believing it would solve all his problems. Patty, however, hesitated. She understood the potential consequences of such a wish, the unintended burdens it might bring. Instead, she gently suggested that Oliver wish for contentment and fulfillment. He reluctantly agreed, and Patty, with a touch of her magical fingers, granted his wish. Days turned into weeks, and Oliver's life transformed. He found joy in simple pleasures, formed meaningful connections, and discovered that true wealth lay in the richness of his experiences. Patty, pleased with the outcome, continued to tend to her garden, mindful of the power she held. As word spread of Oliver's transformation, more people flocked to Patty's garden, each with their own hopes and dreams. Patty, ever wise, guided them to choose wishes that would bring not only personal happiness, but also benefit the greater good. The enchanted garden of Evervale became a symbol of hope and positivity, a place where dreams came true through the careful cultivation of Patty's green thumb. As Patty continued to weave her magic, she ensured that the wishes granted would create a harmonious tapestry of happiness for all who visited, leaving behind a legacy of love, wisdom, and flourishing dreams. The Blacksmith's Daughter. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Eldridge, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a brave blacksmith named Eldon and his spirited daughter Quinn. Eldon was renowned for his skill in crafting weapons and armour, and Quinn, with her nimble fingers and determined spirit, shared her father's passion for the forge. One day, a shadow fell upon Eldridge as news spread of a fearsome dragon that had taken residence in the nearby mountains. The villagers lived in constant fear of the beast, its roars echoing through the valleys, and its fiery breath lighting up the night sky. Eldridge needed a hero, and Quinn felt a calling in her heart to be that hero. Determined to protect her home, Quinn spent countless hours at the forge, hammering and shaping a blade worthy of legend. She poured her heart into the creation of the sword, naming it Dragon's Bane. The blade shimmered with a magical glow, a testament to the love and determination Quinn had invested in her craft. With Dragon's Bane in hand, Quinn set out to face the dragon. The journey to the mountains was treacherous, but Quinn pressed on, fueled by her desire to rid Eldridge of this menacing threat. As she reached the dragon's lair, the air grew thick with tension. The dragon, an enormous creature with scales as dark as night, eyed Quinn with suspicion. But instead of attacking, Quinn bravely stepped forward, holding Dragon's Bane aloft. She spoke to the dragon, not with threats, but with words of understanding and empathy. To her surprise, the dragon listened. As Quinn learned, the dragon had been driven from its ancestral home by other creatures seeking dominance in the mountains. It had sought refuge in Eldridge, not to harm the villagers, but to find a new place to call home. Realizing that the dragon was not inherently evil, Quinn proposed a solution. With her blacksmith skills and the dragon's strength, they worked together to forge a pact between Eldridge and the dragon. The villagers agreed to share the land, and the dragon promised to protect Eldridge from other threats. Quinn's act of diplomacy not only saved her village, but also taught the importance of understanding and cooperation. The once fearsome dragon became an ally, and Eldridge flourished in an era of peace. Quinn, the blacksmith's daughter, proved that sometimes a sword is not just a weapon of war, but a tool for forging connections and building a better world. The Celestial Discovery. I want to tell you a story. In the quiet town of Celestia Falls, nestled between rolling hills and vast meadows, lived a young girl named Ruby. From a tender age, she had been captivated by the stars that adorned the night sky. Her room was adorned with posters of constellations, and her telescope stood proudly by the window, ready for any celestial event. One clear night, as Ruby gazed through her telescope, something caught her eye. It wasn't a familiar constellation. Instead, it shimmered with an ethereal glow, twinkling in a pattern that seemed deliberate. Ruby's heart raced with excitement. With her notebook in hand, she meticulously documented the new arrangement of stars, creating sketches and noting down their positions. Determined to unravel the mystery, Ruby spent countless nights studying the peculiar constellation. As she delved into ancient texts and consulted seasoned astronomers, she discovered a forgotten legend that spoke of a long-lost kingdom hidden among the stars. According to the tale, the key to this celestial kingdom was a constellation known as Astralis Corona, and it held the power to unlock the gateway between worlds. Driven by curiosity and a sense of adventure, Ruby embarked on a journey to decode the secret of Astralis Corona. Armed with her telescope, a worn-out map, and a backpack filled with provisions, she ventured beyond Celestia Falls, following the path guided by the constellation. Her journey led her through dense forests, across meandering rivers, and up towering mountains. Along the way, she encountered challenges and forged unexpected alliances with creatures of the wilderness. Each night she consulted the stars, refining her understanding of Astralis Corona and drawing closer to the elusive kingdom. Finally, after weeks of exploration, Ruby reached the summit of the tallest mountain, where the stars seemed to align perfectly with Astralis Corona. As she stood at the peak, a shimmering portal appeared before her. Hesitant yet resolute, Ruby stepped through the gateway, finding herself in a breathtaking realm bathed in celestial light. The kingdom, long forgotten and frozen in time, welcomed Ruby as its rediscoverer. She explored its ethereal landscapes, met ancient spirits, and uncovered the rich history that had been lost to the ages. Ruby's discovery brought new life to the celestial kingdom, and the stars themselves seemed to celebrate her triumph. Word of Ruby's adventure spread throughout the realms, inspiring others to look to the stars with a renewed sense of wonder. The constellation, Astralis Corona, became a symbol of discovery and the enduring connection between the earthly and celestial realms. As Ruby returned to Celestia Falls, she brought with her not just the knowledge of a hidden kingdom, but also a profound appreciation for the mysteries that lay beyond the sky. The once ordinary young girl had become a legendary astronomer, forever known as the one who unlocked the secrets of Astralis Corona and connected two worlds through the magic of the stars. The Princess and the Leprechaun. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the enchanting kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a clever and resourceful princess named Mindy. Known for her sharp mind and quick wit, Mindy was adored by her subjects. One fateful day, a mischievous leprechaun named Puck arrived in Eldoria, bringing with him a series of riddles that perplexed the entire kingdom. Puck, with his sly grin and mischievous eyes, declared, "Solve my riddles, dear Eldorians, or your kingdom shall be covered in an eternal haze of confusion." The kingdom was in a state of panic, but Princess Mindy remained calm. She knew that brute force would not be enough to overcome the leprechaun's challenges. Instead, she called for a grand assembly in the royal courtyard and addressed her people. "Fear not, my beloved subjects. We shall face these riddles with intelligence and cunning," declared Princess Mindy, her eyes gleaming with determination. As Puck presented the first riddle, the entire kingdom held its breath. "I can be cracked, made, told and played. What am I?" he cackled. Mindy thought for a moment, her mind working at lightning speed. A smile spread across her face as she confidently answered, "It's a joke!" Puck scowled, but proceeded with the next riddle. "The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" Mindy pondered the riddle carefully and then exclaimed, "Footsteps!" Puck gritted his teeth, frustrated that the clever princess was one step ahead. He presented a third riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Mindy's eyes sparkled as she replied, "An echo." The crowd erupted in cheers as Mindy continued to solve Puck's riddles effortlessly. The leprechaun, growing increasingly irritated, presented a final challenge. "What has keys but can't open locks?" Mindy, maintaining her composure, responded with a twinkle in her eye. "A piano." Realizing that he had been outsmarted, Puck stamped his foot in frustration. True to his word, he vanished in a puff of green smoke, leaving the kingdom of Eldoria free from the threat of eternal confusion. The people of Eldoria celebrated their clever princess, and Mindy's wisdom and wit became legendary throughout the land. From that day forward, whenever challenges arose, Princess Mindy's subjects knew they could rely on her quick thinking to lead them to victory. The kingdom flourished, and the tale of Princess Mindy's triumph over the tricky leprechaun echoed through the ages, a testament to the power of intelligence and cleverness. The Bird Whisperer. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Eldoria, nestled between lush forests and rolling hills, lived a young girl named Sonia. Unbeknownst to the villagers, Sonia possessed a unique gift. She could understand the language of birds. Her days were spent wandering through the woods, conversing with the feathered inhabitants who shared their secrets and wisdom with her. One sunny morning, as Sonia strolled through the ancient oak grove, the melodious song of a robin took on a different tone. Intrigued, Sonia listened intently as the bird revealed a sinister plot against the peaceful kingdom of Eldoria. Dark forces were conspiring to overthrow the benevolent ruler, King Alaric, and plunge the land into chaos. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Sonia knew she had to act swiftly. Gathering her courage, she began her journey to warn the king. Along the way, she communicated with her avian companions, enlisting their help in thwarting the impending danger. As Sonia approached the grand castle, she observed the ominous shadows lurking within the court. Birds from all corners of the kingdom had flocked to aid her cause. Ravens, sparrows, and even majestic eagles perched on the castle walls, ready to relay messages and gather information. Sonia sought an audience with King Alaric, who, initially skeptical, was soon convinced by the undeniable urgency in her eyes and the chorus of birds supporting her tale. Together, they devised a plan to expose the traitors and protect Eldoria. Under the cover of darkness, Sonia and her feathered allies infiltrated the secret meetings of the conspirators. Hidden in the eaves and shadows, the birds eavesdropped on their sinister plans, squawking and chirping in a covert communication only Sonia could decipher. As the clock ticked away, Sonia and the birds relayed crucial information to the king, guiding his loyal soldiers to the hidden locations where the traitors plotted. The element of surprise was on their side, and the kingdom's defenders apprehended the conspirators before they could carry out their nefarious scheme. In the end, Eldoria was saved, thanks to the extraordinary abilities of Sonia and her avian allies. The grateful king praised Sonia for her bravery and bestowed upon her a special token of appreciation, a pendant that shimmered with the colours of the forest, symbolising the unity between humans and nature. Sonia continued to roam the woods, her bond with the birds stronger than ever. The kingdom thrived under the reign of King Alaric, and the tale of Sonia, the girl who spoke the language of birds, became a cherished legend passed down through generations. The Dreamwalker. I want to tell you a story. In the small town of Eldoria, nestled between misty hills and ancient woods, a mysterious affliction haunted the residents. Nightmares plagued the townsfolk, stealing their peace and spreading a dark cloud over the once thriving community. Fear gripped Eldoria as sleep became a realm of torment rather than respite. Connor, a young man with an uncommon gift, had lived in Eldoria his entire life. Known as a Dreamwalker, Connor possessed the ability to traverse the dream realm, a skill passed down through generations in his family. As the nightmares intensified, the desperate townspeople turned to Connor for help. Driven by compassion and determination, Connor set out on a perilous journey into the dream realm. With his eyes closed, he navigated the ethereal landscapes, crossing through realms of fantastical beauty and surreal nightmares. Each step was a dance between the tangible and the intangible, guided only by the whispers of his inner self. As Connor delved deeper, the dreams grew more menacing. He encountered twisted versions of familiar places and people, distorted by the malevolent force that gripped Eldoria. Yet his resolve remained unbroken, fueled by the knowledge that he alone could confront the source of the darkness. Finally, after traversing through an otherworldly forest with twisted, contorted trees that seemed to whisper ominous secrets, Connor reached the heart of the dream realm. There, he discovered a looming obsidian tower, surrounded by a swirling tempest of nightmares. The tower pulsed with an otherworldly energy, its dark core corrupting the dreams of Eldoria. Summoning all his courage, Connor ascended the tower, each step a battle against the insidious force that sought to break his spirit. The higher he climbed, the more intense the nightmares became, manifesting as grotesque creatures and echoing the fears of the tormented town. Upon reaching the tower's peak, Connor confronted the source of the nightmares, an ancient and malevolent entity that had taken residence in the dream realm. With a fierce determination and the strength of his own positive dreams, Connor engaged in a mental battle with the entity. The Dreamwalker's courage and resilience proved to be a potent force, countering the darkness that had ensnared Eldoria. In a burst of blinding light, the entity was vanquished, and the nightmare-infested dream realm began to dissipate. As Connor descended the tower, he felt the weight lifted from Eldoria. The once haunted town awakened to a new dawn, and the grateful townspeople celebrated the return of peaceful dreams. Connor's courage and the power of his positive dreams had saved Eldoria from the grip of darkness. As he walked through the town, he couldn't help but smile, knowing that the gift of dreamwalking had not only been a personal blessing, but a source of hope for an entire community. The Enchanted Pages. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Everwood, there lived a young girl named Violet. Violet was a curious and imaginative girl who loved to lose herself in the world of books. Her favourite place in the entire town was the dusty old bookstore called Enchanted Pages, run by an eccentric old man named Mr. Thistlewick. One day, as Violet was browsing the shelves of Enchanted Pages, Mr. Thistlewick beckoned her to the counter. In his hands, he held a mysterious leather-bound book with gilded edges. "This, my dear, is no ordinary book," he said, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "It's a magical tome that allows you to step into the pages and experience the stories firsthand." Violet's eyes widened with wonder. She couldn't believe her luck. Mr. Thistlewick explained that the book had been passed down through generations, waiting for the right person to come along. That person, it seemed, was Violet. With a sense of anticipation, Violet opened the book to its first page and found herself standing in a bustling medieval marketplace. The air was filled with the aroma of spices, and merchants called out to her from their stalls. Violet realized that she was now a character in the story, living the adventure she had only read about before. As she explored the magical world within the pages, Violet encountered knights, fairies, and talking animals. She sailed on pirate ships, flew on the backs of dragons, and danced at grand balls in glittering gowns. Each time she turned a page, a new and exciting adventure awaited her. But with the thrill of adventure also came challenges. Violet faced mythical creatures, solved riddles, and discovered the power of friendship and courage. Along the way, she grew wiser and more confident, learning valuable lessons from the characters she encountered. One day, while exploring a dense forest filled with enchanted creatures, Violet stumbled upon a wise old wizard. He told her that the magic of the book was a gift, but it was up to her to use it wisely. The true magic, he explained, was not in the book itself, but in the lessons she learned and the memories she created. With a newfound understanding, Violet continued her adventures, cherishing each moment and savouring the magic of the stories. Eventually, she returned to Everwood and the familiar shelves of Enchanted Pages. As she closed the magical book for the last time, she thanked Mr. Thistlewick with a heart full of gratitude. Violet may have stepped out of the Enchanted Pages, but the magic lived on within her heart. The lessons she learned and the memories she made stayed with her, shaping her into a brave and imaginative young girl who would carry the enchantment of the magical book with her always. And so, in the quiet town of Everwood, the legend of Violet and the enchanted book became a cherished tale, whispered from one generation to the next. The Enchanting Faun. I want to tell you a story. Willa had always been captivated by the enchanting world of dance. Her nimble feet effortlessly glided across the studio floor, weaving tales of grace and passion through each meticulously choreographed movement. Yet, for all her skill, Willa felt a void within her heart, a longing for something beyond the confines of ordinary dance. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow upon the world, Willa found herself drawn to a secluded grove near the edge of town. Moonlight bathed the clearing, revealing a mysterious figure gracefully moving among the trees. Intrigued, Willa approached cautiously, her curiosity overcoming any fear that may have held her back. To her astonishment, the figure revealed itself to be a magical faun, with antlers that glistened like silver under the moon's gentle caress. The faun, named Ilara, welcomed Willa with a kind smile and invited her to dance amidst the moonlit glade. As the two twirled and leapt, a magical harmony echoed through the air, blending the natural rhythm of the forest with the artistry of Willa's dance. Over time, Willa and Ilara became fast friends. Ilara, wise and ancient, sensed the imbalance in Willa's life and dance. With a gentle touch, Ilara guided Willa through the intricacies of the enchanted grove, teaching her that true mastery of dance required more than just technical prowess. It demanded a delicate equilibrium between strength and softness, precision and spontaneity. Through the faun's guidance, Willa discovered the profound connection between the dance of her body and the dance of her soul. Ilara revealed that life itself was a delicate choreography, a balance of light and shadow, joy and sorrow. As they danced together, Willa felt a newfound sense of harmony within herself and the world around her. One day, as autumn leaves painted the ground with hues of gold, Ilara bestowed upon Willa a gift, a magical pendant that glowed with ethereal energy. The faun whispered, "May this remind you of the dance we shared and the balance you found. Carry it with you, and may your journey be as enchanting as the steps we took together." With a bittersweet farewell, Willa returned to her world, infused with the wisdom and magic of her newfound friend. As she stepped onto the stage for her next performance, the pendant around her neck glowed softly, radiating the essence of the enchanted grove. And so, Willa danced with a newfound grace, sharing the magic she had discovered with everyone who witnessed her artistry, a testament to the transformative power of balance in both dance and life. Warring Factions. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there lived a young girl named Query. Her insatiable curiosity was the talk of the town, and she spent her days exploring the nooks and crannies of the surrounding landscape. One day, while venturing into the heart of the mysterious woods, she stumbled upon a hidden portal that shimmered with an otherworldly light. Unable to resist the allure of the unknown, Query stepped through the portal and found herself in a land unlike any she had ever imagined. The air was filled with magic, and the landscape was dotted with vibrant colours and strange flora. As Query marvelled at her surroundings, she soon discovered that this land was home to mythical creatures of all shapes and sizes. However, the once harmonious land was now divided into two factions, the Sunlight Sprites and the Moonshadow Goblins, locked in an age-old conflict. The creatures, blinded by generations of mistrust and misunderstanding, were on the brink of an all-out war that threatened to destroy their enchanted home. Determined to make a difference, Query set out on a quest to learn about the history of the Sunlight Sprites and Moonshadow Goblins. She discovered that a long-forgotten artifact, the Harmony Crystal, had the power to bring peace to the land by bridging the gap between the two factions. The crystal was hidden in the heart of the enchanted forest, guarded by mythical creatures who tested the purity of the heart seeking it. With courage in her heart, Query embarked on a perilous journey through the enchanted woods. Along the way, she encountered wise old owls, mischievous pixies, and kind-hearted centaurs, all of whom shared tales of the land's ancient past. Armed with the knowledge gained from her newfound friends, Query reached the heart of the enchanted forest. There, she faced trials that tested her resilience, empathy, and determination. The magical creatures, impressed by her genuine desire for peace, allowed her to retrieve the Harmony Crystal. Holding the crystal aloft, Query returned to the divided land and called for a meeting between the Sunlight Sprites and Moonshadow Goblins. As the leaders of the factions gathered, Query spoke from the heart, sharing the stories she had learned and the wisdom bestowed upon her by the magical beings of the enchanted forest. Slowly, the rigid walls of distrust crumbled, and a shared understanding emerged. With the Harmony Crystal in hand, Query guided the creatures in performing a ritual that bound their destinies together, ensuring lasting peace. The once warring factions, now united by a common purpose, transformed their land into a haven of magic and cooperation. Query, the curious explorer, became a symbol of hope and harmony, her adventures inspiring generations to come. And so, in the hidden land of mythical creatures, peace reigned, thanks to the bravery and curiosity of a young girl named Query. The Dryad's Home. I want to tell you a story. Riley had always felt a special connection to nature. From a young age, she discovered that she had a unique gift, the ability to communicate with plants and trees. While others saw them as silent entities, Riley could hear their whispers in the wind and feel the pulse of life within them. Her favourite companions were the towering trees that surrounded her home. One day, as Riley wandered deeper into the woods, she felt a subtle tug in her heart. Following the pull, she stumbled upon a secluded grove bathed in dappled sunlight. At the centre stood a lonely Dryad, her features etched with a quiet sorrow. The Dryad, named Lila, had lost her connection to the forest, and her once vibrant surroundings now seemed muted and lifeless. Approaching Lila, Riley sensed the sadness that enveloped the Dryad. With a gentle smile, Riley introduced herself and explained her ability to communicate with the natural world. Intrigued, Lila cautiously opened her heart to the young girl. As Riley reached out to touch a nearby tree, she felt the energy of the forest respond. The leaves rustled, and the branches swayed as if awakening from a long slumber. Riley listened intently to the tales the trees told, stories of growth, change, and the ebb and flow of life. She translated their ancient language for Lila, who began to see her surroundings in a new light. Day by day, Riley and Lila explored the forest together. Riley shared the secrets of the plants, the language of the wind, and the dance of sunlight filtering through the leaves. Lila, in turn, taught Riley about the magic that flowed through the very essence of the forest, binding all living things together. As their friendship blossomed, so did the once faded beauty of Lila's grove. The flowers bloomed with vibrant colours, and the air hummed with the harmonious symphony of nature. Lila's connection with the forest was restored, and she found solace in the company of her newfound friend. Word spread of Riley's remarkable gift, and soon others sought her guidance in understanding the language of the natural world. Riley's ability to bridge the gap between humans and nature became a beacon of hope, inspiring people to cherish and protect the environment. In the heart of the rejuvenated grove, Riley and Lila stood side by side, a testament to the power of friendship and the magic that exists when one listens to the whispers of the earth. The forest, once silent and forgotten, now thrived with life, and Riley continued to be its guardian, ensuring that the connection between humans and nature remained unbroken. The mathematical realm. I want to tell you a story. Sabrina Carter, a brilliant mathematician with an insatiable curiosity, spent her days immersed in the beauty of numbers and equations. Known for her extraordinary ability to see patterns where others saw chaos, Sabrina had always felt a connection to the magical world that seemed to unfold within the realm of mathematics. One day, while working on her latest research project, Sabrina stumbled upon an ancient cryptic equation that had long eluded the understanding of mathematicians throughout history. It was said to hold the key to unlocking a portal to a world where mathematical principles governed reality in ways beyond imagination. Determined to unravel the secrets of this mystical equation, Sabrina devoted herself to the challenge. Late nights turned into early mornings as she delved deeper into the patterns and symbols that seemed to dance across the pages of her notebooks. She lost track of time, driven by an otherworldly passion to solve the equation that beckoned to her like a siren's call. Weeks passed, and Sabrina's perseverance bore fruit. With a sudden surge of insight, she deciphered the last elusive piece of the puzzle. As she wrote the final strokes of the solution, a brilliant light erupted from the equation, enveloping Sabrina in a vortex of energy. Before she could comprehend what was happening, the world around her shifted, and she found herself standing in a realm unlike anything she had ever imagined. The air hummed with mathematical resonance, and the landscape itself seemed to be constructed from geometric shapes and equations. Sabrina realized that she had unlocked the portal to a world governed by the very principles she had dedicated her life to understanding. As she explored this magical realm, Sabrina encountered beings made of fractals and creatures that embodied the elegance of mathematical theorems. The sky pulsed with vibrant colors, each hue representing a different mathematical constant. Sabrina marveled at the beauty of this world, where the language of mathematics was not just a tool for understanding, but the very fabric of existence. Word of Sabrina's arrival spread across the mathematical realm, and she was hailed as a savior who had bridged the gap between the mundane and the magical. She shared her knowledge with the inhabitants, exchanging insights and discovering new mathematical wonders that transcended the limits of earthly understanding. Sabrina's journey became a legend, told across the dimensions of reality. The portal remained open, allowing other curious minds to venture into the realm of mathematical magic. And as Sabrina continued to explore the boundless possibilities of this enchanted world, she couldn't help but feel grateful for the equation that had led her to a place where the language of mathematics was not just a tool for exploration, but a source of endless wonder and enchantment. The Invisible Girl. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quiet town of Crestwood, there lived a young girl named Abby. Abby was an ordinary girl in many ways, with long chestnut hair, sparkling green eyes, and a heart full of dreams. However, there was something extraordinary about her, a secret power that set her apart from the rest. Abby could turn invisible at will. At first, Abby revelled in her ability to disappear from sight. It was a convenient power that allowed her to navigate the halls of Crestwood Elementary School unnoticed, overhear secrets, and play harmless pranks on her classmates. But as time went on, Abby began to feel a growing sense of loneliness and isolation. Despite her power, she remained unseen and unheard. One day, as Abby sat invisible in the back of her classroom, she overheard her classmates talking about an upcoming talent show. Excitement filled the air as each student planned their performance, but Abby hesitated. Deep down, she longed to showcase her true self, but the fear of being visible held her back. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Abby found herself standing on the stage of Crestwood Elementary's auditorium. The room was dark, and her heart pounded with nervous anticipation. With a deep breath, Abby let go of her invisibility and revealed herself to the world. The gasps and whispers echoed through the auditorium as Abby became visible to everyone. She was no longer a phantom in the shadows, but a real vulnerable girl with dreams and fears. Abby began to sing, her voice resonating with a power that transcended her invisibility. The audience was captivated, and a hush fell over the room as they listened to the girl who had always been there but never truly seen. As Abby sang, she realized that true strength came not from hiding, but from embracing her authentic self. The invisible girl had found her voice, and in that moment she became more powerful than ever before. The applause that followed was not just for her talent, but for the courage it took to step into the light. From that day forward, Abby learned to balance her invisibility with the strength of being seen and heard. She discovered the joy of genuine connections and the power of vulnerability. As she continued to grow, Abby became a source of inspiration for others, teaching them that true strength comes from embracing who you are and allowing others to see the real you. The once invisible girl had become a beacon of light in Crestwood, a testament to the transformative power of authenticity. The Unraveled Tapestry. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Eldoria, nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, lived a skilled weaver named Ilara. Her nimble fingers danced across the loom, creating intricate tapestries that adorned the walls of villagers' homes. Ilara's most prized possession, however, was a mysterious and ancient tapestry that had been passed down through generations. Ilara had a daughter named Trini, a curious and spirited young girl with a deep love for the art of weaving. As she grew older, Trini became increasingly fascinated by the mysterious tapestry that hung in the corner of their humble cottage. The colours were vibrant and the patterns seemed to shift and change when no one was looking. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow on Eldoria, Trini found herself alone in the cottage. The tapestry called out to her, its threads whispering secrets of a hidden world. Unable to resist, Trini approached the loom and, with hesitant fingers, began to unravel the ancient masterpiece. As Trini unwound the threads, she discovered a mesmerizing connection between all living things. The tapestry depicted the delicate dance of nature, the intertwining of roots beneath the earth, the ebb and flow of rivers, and the flutter of butterfly wings that carried messages across the meadows. As she continued to unravel the threads, Trini found herself woven into the very fabric of the tapestry. She witnessed the laughter of children echoing through the village, felt the heartbeat of the ancient oak tree in the town square, and saw the tears of a mother as she cradled her newborn. The more Trini unravelled, the more she understood the interconnectedness of all living things. She felt the joy and pain, the love and sorrow that threaded through the tapestry of existence. It was a revelation that went beyond the boundaries of Eldoria, reaching far into the world beyond. Word of Trini's discovery spread throughout the village, and soon people from neighbouring towns travelled to Eldoria to witness the unravelling of the mysterious tapestry. Together, they marvelled at the intricate web that connected every living being, weaving a story that transcended time and place. Trini, now a weaver wise beyond her years, became a beacon of understanding and unity in Eldoria. The unravelling of the tapestry had not destroyed its beauty, but had revealed a truth that brought the villagers closer together. The once mysterious threads now served as a reminder that, in the grand tapestry of life, each individual played a unique and vital role. And so, Eldoria flourished with newfound appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things, thanks to the weaver's daughter, who dared to unravel the mysteries hidden within the threads of time. The Kitchen Sprite. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of a bustling city, there was a quaint little restaurant named Gastronomique Haven, where dreams took the form of delectable dishes and aspirations simmered in pots of creativity. At the centre of this culinary haven was Beatrice, an aspiring chef with a passion for flavours that danced on the palate. Beatrice had always dreamed of creating culinary masterpieces that would leave a lasting impression on those who tasted her creations. However, her journey was not without challenges. Long hours, demanding patrons, and the pressure to prove herself in the competitive culinary world weighed heavily on her shoulders. One fateful evening, as Beatrice toiled away in the kitchen, she sensed a mischievous presence lingering in the air. Pots rattled, ingredients seemed to dance on their own, and an ethereal giggle echoed through the kitchen. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, Beatrice cautiously approached the source of the commotion. To her surprise, a tiny kitchen spirit, adorned in a whimsical apron, revealed itself. "Greetings, Beatrice. I am Gustavo, the culinary sprite," it exclaimed with a mischievous twinkle in its eyes. Initially taken aback, Beatrice soon found herself befriending the spirited Gustavo. The playful creature, invisible to everyone else, shared an insatiable curiosity for culinary delights. With Gustavo by her side, Beatrice's kitchen transformed into a realm of magic and creativity. Gustavo's mischievous antics turned mundane tasks into thrilling adventures. Flour would float in the air, herbs would arrange themselves in perfect harmony, and sauces would bubble with excitement. It seemed that Gustavo's whimsical nature had unlocked a new realm of culinary possibilities for Beatrice. Together they experimented with unique flavour combinations, blending the traditional with the avant-garde. Beatrice's dishes became a sensation, drawing patrons from far and wide. The once struggling restaurant transformed into a culinary hotspot, and Beatrice's dream of leaving a mark on the world of gastronomy was becoming a reality. As Beatrice and Gustavo continued their culinary escapades, the bond between them deepened. Gustavo's mischievous spirit became the secret ingredient that added a touch of magic to Beatrice's creations. The duo became inseparable, and Gustavo, despite being invisible to others, became the heartbeat of Gastronomique Haven. One day, as Beatrice stood proudly in the bustling kitchen, she realized that Gustavo had taught her more than just culinary wizardry. The mischievous spirit had infused her with the courage to pursue her dreams relentlessly, reminding her that even in the toughest of times, a dash of magic could turn ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. And so, the tale of Beatrice and Gustavo became a legend in the culinary world, inspiring chefs to embrace the magic within their hearts and let their creativity soar to new heights. Gastronomique Haven flourished, not only as a restaurant, but as a testament to the enchanting power of dreams and the joy that comes from sharing them with unexpected, mischievous friends. The Cursed Tapestry. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Elmdale, nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, lived a young weaver named Clara. She possessed a rare talent for turning vibrant threads into intricate tapestries that told stories of the past, present, and, some believed, the future. Clara's life took an unexpected turn when a mysterious traveller arrived in Elmdale, bearing a cursed tapestry. The tapestry was said to foretell a tragic future for the kingdom, one filled with despair and ruin. Fearful whispers spread through the village as ominous shadows cast by the cursed fabric fell upon the hearts of the people. Clara, drawn by a mixture of curiosity and determination, volunteered to unravel the tapestry and rewrite the destiny that loomed over her home. The Cursed Tapestry was unlike any Clara had ever encountered. Dark hues and haunting images depicted a kingdom in turmoil, a once thriving land now withering away under the weight of misfortune. As Clara delicately worked her skilled fingers through the threads, she discovered that the curse was not only woven into the fabric, but had seeped into the very essence of the kingdom. Driven by a sense of duty and armed with her weaving skills, Clara embarked on a perilous journey to find the source of the curse. Guided by snippets of prophecies within the tapestry, she ventured deep into the enchanted forest that bordered Elmdale. There, she encountered mythical creatures and faced trials that tested her courage and resolve. As Clara delved deeper into the heart of the forest, she discovered an ancient loom hidden within a forgotten grove. The loom, surrounded by an aura of magic, radiated both the curse and the power to break it. With each thread she carefully rewove, Clara felt the weight of the curse lifting. The tapestry began to transform, revealing a brighter future for the kingdom. However, rewriting destiny was not without sacrifice. The journey had taken its toll on Clara, draining her strength and testing the limits of her resilience. As she approached the final threads, the forest around her seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the outcome of her courageous endeavour. With a final determined tug, Clara rewove the last strands of the cursed tapestry. A brilliant light enveloped the grove as the curse shattered, and the ominous images dissolved into a tapestry of hope and renewal. The once silent forest erupted in a symphony of joyous sounds, and Clara emerged, triumphant but weary, holding the transformed tapestry in her hands. Word of Clara's bravery and skill spread throughout the kingdom, and Elmdale flourished once more. The villagers, grateful for Clara's courage, celebrated her as a hero who had rewritten their destiny. From that day forward, Clara's tapestries were sought after, not only for their beauty, but also for the tales of hope and triumph they wove into the fabric of the kingdom's history. The Wishing Well. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of a quaint village, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there was a magical place where wishes came true. This enchanting village was known far and wide for its mystical well, said to have been blessed by ancient spirits. Villagers would gather around the well, their faces illuminated with hope, to make wishes that often seemed impossible anywhere else. Darcy, a curious and adventurous girl with a heart full of dreams, had heard tales of this magical well since she was a child. As she grew older, her desire to visit the village and make a wish burned brighter. Finally, on a warm summer day, Darcy set out on a journey to the Village of Wishes. Upon arriving, Darcy was captivated by the lively atmosphere and the colourful stalls that lined the cobblestone streets. The well stood in the centre of the village, adorned with flowers and surrounded by excited villagers eager to make their wishes. Unable to contain her excitement, Darcy approached the well, a small coin clutched tightly in her hand. She closed her eyes and whispered her deepest desire, tossing the coin into the well with a sense of anticipation. To her amazement, the water shimmered with a magical glow, and a warm breeze enveloped her. Days turned into weeks, and Darcy's wish came true in ways she had never imagined. Yet, amidst the enchantment, she felt a growing sense of unease. She began to question whether the wish that had come true truly reflected her authentic self. One day, as Darcy wandered through the village, she discovered a hidden path leading to a serene glade. There she met an elderly woman who seemed to radiate wisdom. The woman spoke of the importance of self-discovery and authenticity, urging Darcy to explore her own heart. Inspired by the encounter, Darcy spent days reflecting on who she truly was and what she genuinely desired. Slowly she realized that the wish she had made at the magical well was shaped by external expectations and societal pressures rather than her authentic self. Determined to rectify her path, Darcy returned to the well. This time, instead of making a wish, she simply whispered, Guide me to my true self." The well responded with a gentle glow, and Darcy felt a profound sense of clarity. As she embraced her authentic self, Darcy's life transformed. The village, once filled with enchantment, now seemed even more magical as she connected with others on a deeper level. Her journey became a beacon for those around her, inspiring them to seek their true selves. In the village where wishes came true, Darcy discovered that the most powerful wish of all was the one that led to self-discovery and authenticity. The mystical well became a symbol not just of magic, but of the profound magic within each person's heart waiting to be uncovered. The Shadow Prophecy. I want to tell you a story. In the mystical realm of Eldoria, where magic and wonder coexisted, there lived a young girl named Erica. Unlike the other inhabitants of her kingdom, Erica possessed a unique and extraordinary gift, the ability to control shadows. Her jet-black hair and mysterious deep blue eyes hinted at the power that lay dormant within her. One day, while exploring the forbidden archives in the royal library, Erica stumbled upon an ancient tome that spoke of a prophecy. The pages whispered secrets of a looming darkness that threatened to engulf Eldoria, casting it into eternal despair. However, the prophecy also held a glimmer of hope, a savior with the power to manipulate shadows, a chosen one who would rise to face the impending doom. As Erica delved deeper into the prophecy, she discovered that she was the foretold savior. The weight of the revelation settled heavily on her shoulders, but the determination in her heart burned brighter than ever. Armed with newfound purpose, she embarked on a perilous journey to unlock the full extent of her shadow-controlling abilities. Guided by the cryptic words of the prophecy, Erica traversed enchanted forests, crossed treacherous mountains, and faced magical creatures that tested her courage. Along the way, she encountered allies who recognized her as the chosen one and pledged their loyalty to her cause. As Erica's powers grew, so did the darkness that threatened Eldoria. The skies above the kingdom grew overcast, and a sense of impending doom hung in the air. Erica knew that time was running out, and she had to confront the source of the encroaching darkness. Her journey led her to the ancient Shadow Citadel, a long-forgotten fortress hidden deep within the heart of Eldoria. There she confronted the malevolent Shadow Lord, a being of pure darkness seeking to plunge the realm into eternal night. A fierce battle ensued, with Erica using her shadow-manipulating abilities to counter the Shadow Lord's dark magic. In the climax of the battle, Erica uncovered a hidden reservoir of power within herself. She summoned shadows in forms never imagined, creating a brilliant display of light that banished the Shadow Lord and his minions. The skies cleared, and Eldoria bathed in the warm light of the sun once more. With the threat vanquished, Erica returned to her kingdom as a hero. The people hailed her as the savior who fulfilled the ancient prophecy, and she became a symbol of hope and resilience. Eldoria prospered, and Erica, though forever changed by her journey, embraced her role as the guardian of light in a world touched by shadows. The Magical Healing Sheep. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, there lived a kind-hearted shepherdess named Franny. Franny was known throughout the village for her gentle nature and the warmth that emanated from her heart. She spent her days tending to her flock of sheep, always with a tender smile on her face. One sunny afternoon, as Franny led her sheep to graze in a lush meadow, she noticed a sheep that seemed different from the rest. Its wool shimmered with a soft, magical glow, and its eyes held a sparkle that spoke of otherworldly wonders. Intrigued, Franny approached the enchanting creature. To her surprise, the sheep greeted her with a gentle nuzzle, and a soothing warmth radiated from its touch. Franny felt a connection unlike any she had experienced before. Little did she know that this magical sheep possessed a unique gift, the power to heal. As days passed, Franny and the magical sheep, whom she named Celestia, became inseparable. Franny discovered that Celestia's magical presence had a remarkable effect on the well-being of the other sheep. They seemed happier and healthier, and even the wildest among them became calm in Celestia's presence. Word of Celestia's extraordinary abilities spread beyond the village, reaching those in need. People from neighbouring villages sought Franny's assistance, hoping that Celestia's healing touch could bring comfort to their ailing loved ones. Franny, guided by her compassionate nature, travelled far and wide with Celestia, bringing solace to those in pain. Together they healed not only physical wounds but also mended broken hearts and lifted spirits burdened by sorrow. As Franny witnessed the transformative power of compassion and the magic within Celestia, she realised that kindness and empathy could heal wounds that were invisible to the eye. The journey taught her that true magic lay not only in the extraordinary, but in the everyday acts of love and understanding. Franny's fame as a compassionate shepherdess spread across the land, and she became a symbol of hope and healing. Yet, despite the accolades, she remained humble, attributing the true magic to the benevolent heart of Celestia and the unwavering power of love. In the end, Franny returned to her village, where she continued to tend to her flock with even greater kindness. Celestia, content in her meadow, continued to spread her magical warmth, reminding all who encountered her that the greatest enchantment of all was the ability to care for one another. And so, in the tranquil village surrounded by rolling hills and meandering streams, the tale of Franny and Celestia became a cherished legend, a testament to the enduring magic found in acts of compassion and the bond between a kind-hearted shepherdess and her magical sheep. The Labyrinth Quest. I want to tell you a story. The village of Eldoria was on the brink of ruin. A drought had withered their crops, and famine had tightened its grip on the humble community. In a desperate bid to save her people, Glenna, a skilled archer, known for her uncanny accuracy and swift movements, volunteered to embark on a perilous quest. Legends spoke of a hidden treasure concealed within the heart of the labyrinth of shadows, guarded by mythical creatures that thrived on fear. The treasure was said to possess the power to end the drought and bring prosperity back to Eldoria. Undeterred by the ominous tales, Glenna set forth, her bow strapped to her back and a quiver of arrows at her side. The labyrinth loomed before her, its entrance shrouded in an eerie mist. With a deep breath, she stepped into the unknown. The labyrinth was a twisting maze of stone walls, with ominous shadows dancing in every corner. Glenna navigated its treacherous passages with the precision of a hawk in flight. Her keen eyes scanned the surroundings, alert for any sign of movement. As she ventured deeper, the air grew thick with tension. Suddenly the ground trembled beneath her feet, and a massive minotaur emerged from the shadows. Its eyes glowed with malevolence as it charged towards Glenna, its hooves echoing through the narrow corridors. Without hesitation, Glenna drew her bow and unleashed a flurry of arrows. Each shot found its mark, and the minotaur fell to the ground with a thunderous crash. Glenna pressed on, undeterred by the defeated creature at her feet. Further into the labyrinth, she encountered a sphinx guarding a crucial intersection. The mythical creature posed a riddle, demanding wit and wisdom. Glenna, sharp-minded and quick-witted, answered correctly, earning the sphinx's respect. It allowed her passage, its majestic wings unfurling as she continued her quest. As Glenna neared the heart of the labyrinth, the final challenge awaited, a fearsome chimera, its head spewing fire and venom. The air crackled with danger as Glenna faced the monstrous guardian. With a series of acrobatic moves, she dodged the fiery breath and aimed her arrows with deadly precision. After a fierce battle, Glenna emerged victorious, standing before the fabled treasure. A radiant glow emanated from a chest adorned with intricate runes. She carefully opened it, revealing a brilliant gem that shimmered with the promise of prosperity. With the treasure in hand, Glenna retraced her steps through the labyrinth. As she emerged into the sunlight, the once parched land of Eldoria began to flourish. Crops sprouted, and the river flowed once more. The village rejoiced as Glenna, the hero with a bow, had saved them from despair. In the aftermath, Glenna became a legend herself, her name whispered with reverence among the people of Eldoria. The skilled archer had not only conquered mythical creatures and a treacherous labyrinth, but had also brought hope and prosperity to her beloved village. The Dragon's Fire. I want to tell you a story. In the mystical land of Eldoria, where dreams held the power to shape reality, there lived a young girl named Harriet. Unlike others in Eldoria, Harriet possessed a unique gift, the ability to manipulate fire. Flames danced at her fingertips, a manifestation of her extraordinary power. One fateful night, a foreboding dream spread like wildfire across Eldoria. A menacing dragon, born from the fears of its dreamers, threatened to engulf the entire dream realm in its fiery breath. Eldoria's inhabitants were paralyzed by the dragon's looming presence, trapped within their own nightmares. Word of Harriet's extraordinary abilities reached the wise Dreamkeeper, a guardian of Eldoria who oversaw the balance between dreams and reality. Recognizing Harriet's potential to save their world, the Dreamkeeper sought her out. Harriet, a humble village girl, hesitated, but ultimately accepted the daunting quest. She donned a suit of armor, a gift from the Dreamkeeper that shimmered with an ethereal glow. With a sword at her side and fire in her heart, Harriet set out to face the dragon that haunted the dreams of Eldoria. The dream realm was a surreal landscape with floating islands of imagination and ethereal creatures that echoed the dreams of the dreamers. As Harriet ventured deeper, the oppressive presence of the dragon grew stronger. Its roars echoed through the corridors of dreams, stirring up nightmares in its wake. Finally, Harriet confronted the dragon, its scales gleaming with an otherworldly glow. The air crackled with the tension between fire and fear. Harriet, with determination burning in her eyes, raised her sword and summoned her flames. The battle was fierce and surreal, a dance of fire and shadow within the dream realm. The dragon's fiery breath clashed against Harriet's controlled flames. Harriet's heart pounded with each swing of her sword, each surge of her elemental power. As the battle raged on, Harriet discovered the source of the dragon's power, the collective fears and anxieties of Eldoria's dreamers. With a surge of empathy, she harnessed her fire to transform the dragon's flames into calming warmth. Slowly, the dragon's fearsome exterior melted away, revealing a vulnerable creature beneath. In an unexpected turn of events, Harriet's compassion tamed the dragon. No longer a threat, it transformed into a majestic guardian, a symbol of harmony within Eldoria's dreams. The nightmare that had gripped the realm began to fade, replaced by dreams of hope and creativity. With the dragon's transformation, Harriet returned to her village, her armor now a testament to her bravery and compassion. The Dreamkeeper thanked her, and Eldoria celebrated the return of peaceful dreams. Harriet, once a simple village girl, had become a hero of the dream realm. Her story spread far and wide, inspiring dreamers to face their fears and transform nightmares into dreams of wonder. And so, Eldoria continued to thrive, a land where the power of dreams could overcome even the fiercest of nightmares. The Young Alchemist. I want to tell you a story. In the quaint village of Eldoria, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, lived a young alchemist named Iggy. Iggy was known for his insatiable curiosity and an unyielding passion for the mystical arts of alchemy. His small workshop, tucked away at the edge of the village, was filled with bubbling cauldrons, ancient tomes, and an array of peculiar ingredients. One day, as Iggy delved into the dusty pages of an ancient grimoire, he stumbled upon a recipe that piqued his interest, a potion that purportedly revealed the true nature of people's hearts. Excitement surged through him as he read the instructions, his mind racing with the possibilities of such a concoction. Determined to unlock the mysteries hidden within the hearts of his fellow villagers, Iggy set to work gathering rare herbs and crystals under the silvery light of the moon. Night after night he toiled in his workshop, carefully measuring and mixing the ingredients until the potion took shape in a crystal vial. As dawn broke, Iggy, with a heart pounding in anticipation, ventured into the heart of Eldoria. He discreetly sprinkled the potion on the village well, a central gathering place for the townsfolk. Unbeknownst to them, the elixir began its subtle work, weaving its magic through the air. The effects were immediate. Eldoria's residents, once bound by societal facades, found themselves unable to conceal their true feelings. A kindly baker revealed a mischievous streak, a stern town elder displayed a hidden warmth, and even the town jester showed moments of solemnity. As the day unfolded, Iggy observed the village with widened eyes, astonished by the authentic emotions now laid bare. However, the potion also brought unforeseen consequences. Deep-seated conflicts that had remained hidden burst forth, causing rifts among friends and families. Eldoria, once a tranquil haven, was now rife with emotions, both beautiful and tumultuous. Realizing the unintended chaos he had unleashed, Iggy knew he had to find a way to restore the village's harmony. With a heavy heart, he worked tirelessly on an antidote, a potion to mend the fractures he had unwittingly created. Word of Iggy's discovery spread through Eldoria, and the villagers, though initially hurt by the revelations, came to appreciate the honesty that the potion had unearthed. As Iggy administered the antidote, the village began to heal, stronger than before, with newfound understanding and empathy. In the end, Eldoria emerged from this alchemical adventure transformed. Iggy, though initially regretful, learned a valuable lesson about the delicate balance between truth and harmony. And, as the villagers returned to their daily lives, they carried with them a deeper appreciation for the complexities that lie within the human heart. The Hidden Oracle. I want to tell you a story. In the distant land of Elysia, a kingdom ruled by an enigmatic monarch named King Obsidian, emotions were not freely expressed. Instead, they were bottled and locked away, hidden from the world. The citizens of Elysia lived in a perpetual state of emotional suppression, their feelings stifled and contained. Jasmine, a courageous and spirited young girl, was unlike the others. She couldn't bear to see her people live in such a cold and emotionless state. Her heart burned with a desire to free Elysia from the shackles of emotional repression. Determined and fearless, she decided to embark on a perilous journey to find the legendary Oracle of Emotions. Legend spoke of a wise and ancient oracle who resided deep within the Forbidden Forest, a place shrouded in mystery and danger. Jasmine, armed with nothing but her unwavering courage and a small satchel, ventured into the heart of the forbidding woods. As she navigated the dense foliage and treacherous terrain, Jasmine encountered mystical creatures and faced numerous trials. Each step brought her closer to the Oracle of Emotions, the key to unlocking the bottled feelings of her people. Finally, after days of perseverance, Jasmine reached the hidden sanctuary of the Oracle. A wise and ancient being, the Oracle greeted her with a knowing smile. Jasmine poured out her heart, explaining the plight of Elysia and the need to release the bottled emotions. The Oracle, touched by Jasmine's sincerity and bravery, bestowed upon her a magical elixir. This enchanted potion held the power to unlock the emotions bottled within the hearts of the people. However, the journey was far from over. Jasmine had to distribute the elixir throughout Elysia, facing the challenges that lay ahead. Returning to the kingdom, Jasmine faced the oppressive rule of King Obsidian. With cunning and wit, she navigated the royal court, avoiding the watchful eyes of the monarch. Under the cloak of night, she began distributing the elixir to the citizens of Elysia. As the elixir took effect, emotions burst forth like a floodgate, filling the kingdom with laughter, tears, and everything in between. The once muted streets were now alive with the vibrant colours of emotion. the people of Elysia rediscovered the beauty of feeling, and a warmth spread through the kingdom. King Obsidian, realizing he could no longer control the hearts of his subjects, confronted Jasmine in a final attempt to maintain his rule. However, the newfound strength of the people, fueled by their liberated emotions, overpowered the tyrant. Jasmine emerged as a hero, a symbol of courage and liberation. The kingdom of Elysia transformed into a place where emotions were cherished and celebrated. The people, free from the shackles of suppression, embraced the richness of their feelings, creating a realm filled with love, joy, and genuine connection. And so, Jasmine's tale became a legend, passed down through generations as a reminder of the transformative power of courage and the importance of embracing one's emotions. The Astral Prophecy. I want to tell you a story. Gillian always felt a magnetic pull towards the night sky. From a young age, she gazed at the stars with wide-eyed wonder, fueled by an insatiable curiosity about the universe. As she grew older, Gillian pursued a career in astronomy, dedicating her life to unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos. One fateful night, as Gillian peered through her telescope atop the observatory, she noticed an unusual arrangement of stars. It wasn't part of any known constellation, and its pattern seemed deliberate, as if the universe itself had woven a celestial tapestry. Intrigued, Gillian spent countless nights mapping the enigmatic constellation and deciphering its significance. Her research led her to ancient texts and forgotten lore that hinted at a prophecy lost in the annals of time. The constellation, named Astralis Propheta, was said to hold the key to unlocking a destiny that could shape the fate of worlds. Gillian's excitement soared as she realized the gravity of her discovery. Driven by her insatiable thirst for knowledge, Gillian delved into the archives of civilizations long gone, piecing together the fragments of the prophecy. The Astralis Propheta foretold of a cosmic event that would bridge the realms of the known and the unknown, unleashing untold power and wisdom upon those who could unlock its secrets. Gillian's findings caught the attention of fellow astronomers, historians, and even government agencies. As whispers of the prophecy spread, a coalition of minds formed to support Gillian's quest. Together, they embarked on an expedition to decipher the remaining mysteries of the Astralis Propheta. Their journey took them to remote observatories, ancient libraries, and sacred sites across the globe. Along the way, they faced challenges that tested their resolve and unity. Yet Gillian's passion and the shared belief in the prophecy fueled their determination. Finally, after years of relentless pursuit, Gillian and her team unraveled the last cryptic message encoded within the Astralis Propheta. The prophecy spoke of a convergence point in the cosmos, where the barriers between dimensions would thin, and those who held the key would gain the ability to shape reality itself. The coalition assembled at the predicted convergence point, a remote celestial nexus hidden from the casual observer. As the appointed time arrived, the stars aligned, and the Astralis Propheta's brilliance intensified. Gillian, with trembling hands, held a small, ancient artifact that seemed to resonate with the cosmic energy. In a blinding surge of light, the prophecy unfolded before their eyes. The convergence point revealed a gateway to realms beyond imagination, and the coalition stood at the threshold of a new era. Gillian, the once curious astronomer, now found herself at the centre of a cosmic tapestry, realizing that her journey had only just begun. The Astralis Propheta had not only unlocked a prophecy, but also opened the door to a boundless universe of possibilities. As Gillian and her companions stepped into the unknown, they embraced the adventure that awaited them, forever changed by the constellation that held the key to a destiny written in the stars. The Magical Plant Quest. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Eldoria, nestled between emerald hills and flowing rivers, there lived a young girl named Karen. Blessed with a green thumb from an early age, Karen had a magical touch that made plants flourish under her care. Eldoria was known for its bountiful harvests, but a sudden and unexplained blight had befallen the crops, threatening the village with starvation. As the fields withered and the villagers grew desperate, the village elder revealed an ancient prophecy. It spoke of a rare and magical plant known as the starlight bloom, said to possess the power to restore life to the land. Legend had it that only a true guardian of nature could cultivate this elusive plant, and Karen was believed to be the chosen one. Determined to save her village, Karen embarked on a perilous journey to find the mythical starlight bloom. Armed with her gardening tools and a heart full of hope, she ventured into the enchanted Forest of Whispers, where the plant was said to dwell. The forest was a maze of towering trees and mysterious creatures, but Karen's connection with nature guided her. Along the way, she encountered challenges that tested her skills and resolve. With each obstacle overcome, her bond with the magical energy of the forest deepened. After days of searching, Karen stumbled upon a hidden grove bathed in a soft, ethereal glow. In its centre stood the starlight bloom, a magnificent flower with petals that shimmered like the night sky. Karen felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility as she carefully tended to the plant, whispering words of encouragement. As the days passed, the starlight bloom responded to Karen's care, and the magical energy emanating from it began to heal the land. News of Karen's quest and the miraculous plant spread throughout Eldoria, filling the villagers with newfound hope. The day finally arrived when the starlight bloom was ready to bloom in all its glory. As its petals unfurled, a radiant light enveloped Eldoria, dispelling the blight and bringing life back to the fields. The once withered crops flourished, and the village rejoiced in the abundance of a harvest that exceeded their wildest dreams. Karen, the humble gardener turned saviour, became a symbol of resilience and the unwavering connection between humanity and nature. The starlight bloom continued to thrive under Karen's care, ensuring prosperity for Eldoria for generations to come. The villagers celebrated their guardian of the land, and Karen's story echoed through the ages as a tale of hope, courage, and the enduring magic of the natural world. The Light in the Forest. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of a forgotten forest, nestled between ancient trees draped in shadows, lay a village cursed with eternal darkness. The villagers had long forgotten the warmth of the sun and the gentle glow of the moon. Their lives were trapped in an endless night, and despair hung heavy in the air. Among them lived a curious young girl named Madison. Unlike the others, Madison felt a restless energy within her, a yearning for something more. One day, driven by an inexplicable force, she ventured into the depths of the foreboding woods. The dense canopy above blocked out what little light remained, and the path she tread seemed to absorb any trace of brightness. As Madison wandered deeper into the woods, her heart pounded with a mix of fear and anticipation. Strange whispers surrounded her, hinting at an ancient secret that lay hidden in the heart of the forest. Guided by an unseen force, she stumbled upon a clearing where a mystical well stood, radiating a soft, ethereal glow. The well seemed to be a source of light untouched by the village's curse. Madison cautiously approached, feeling the warmth of the glow envelop her. As she peered into the well, a reflection of her determined eyes stared back. It was then that she sensed the well held the key to breaking the curse and bringing light back to her village. Driven by newfound purpose, Madison returned to the village to share her discovery. The skeptical villagers, burdened by the weight of their endless night, dismissed her claims. Undeterred, Madison decided to embark on a quest to unlock the well's magic and restore light to her home. Venturing back into the forest, Madison encountered challenges and faced mythical creatures guarding the secret of the well. She solved riddles, displayed courage, and demonstrated compassion, slowly earning the trust of the enchanted beings. As she delved deeper into the forest's mysteries, the path became clearer, and the darkness that gripped the village began to wane. At last, Madison reached the well's heart, where ancient runes glowed with untold power. With a pure heart and unwavering determination, she channeled the magic of the well, unleashing a brilliant burst of light that cascaded through the village and beyond. The curse shattered, and the villagers emerged from their homes, blinking in the newfound daylight. Madison, now a heroine in their eyes, stood at the centre of the village, basking in the warmth of the sun. The once cursed villagers gathered around her, grateful tears glistening in their eyes. The forest, once foreboding, now stood as a testament to the triumph of light over darkness. Madison's courage and the magical well had broken the curse that gripped the village, and the memory of eternal darkness slowly faded away. The villagers embraced the return of daylight, cherishing each moment as a precious gift. Madison, forever changed by her journey, became a symbol of hope, reminding all that even in the darkest of times, a single spark could ignite a radiant dawn. The Creature in the Chamber. I want to tell you a story. Nora, a gifted young linguist, spent her days immersed in the world of ancient languages and forgotten civilizations. Her passion for deciphering scripts and unlocking the secrets of the past led her to a remote archaeological site where a mysterious civilization once thrived. While exploring the site, Nora stumbled upon a hidden chamber adorned with intricate symbols and hieroglyphs that seemed to defy any known linguistic patterns. Excitement and curiosity bubbled within her, and she devoted herself to unraveling the enigma of this forgotten language. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ruins, Nora heard a peculiar sound echoing through the ancient stones. It was a melodic hum, almost like a song, but with a rhythm that resonated with the ancient symbols on the chamber walls. Intrigued, she followed the sound and discovered a creature unlike anything she had ever seen. The creature, a luminous being with iridescent scales, seemed to communicate through a language of light and sound. Nora, undeterred by the unfamiliarity of this communication, extended her hand in a gesture of friendship. To her surprise, the creature responded, its scales pulsating with colours that seemed to convey emotions and meanings. Over time, Nora and the mysterious creature formed a bond transcending the barriers of language. They spent countless hours together, with Nora meticulously documenting the creature's patterns of light and sound, attempting to unlock the linguistic code that governed their communication. As their friendship deepened, Nora discovered that the creature was a guardian of the ancient civilization's wisdom, entrusted with preserving the knowledge of a bygone era. Together, Nora and her newfound friend deciphered the ancient language, unveiling the history, myths, and technological advancements of the civilization that had once thrived in the very place they stood. They uncovered tales of incredible achievements, lost innovations, and the cataclysmic event that led to the downfall of this once mighty society. The more Nora learned, the more she realized the importance of preserving the knowledge they had uncovered. With the help of the creature, she translated the ancient texts into contemporary languages, ensuring that the wisdom of the past would not fade into obscurity once again. As Nora shared the revelations with the world, her collaboration with the mysterious creature became a symbol of the power of communication and understanding. The ancient civilization's legacy, once buried in the sands of time, now shone brightly through the efforts of a gifted linguist and her extraordinary companion. Together, they had unraveled the secrets of the past, bridging the gap between two worlds separated by centuries. The Shadow Guardian. I want to tell you a story. In the quiet town of Eldoria, where the sunsets painted the sky in warm hues, lived a girl named Ophelia. She was an ordinary teenager with an extraordinary secret, the ability to manipulate shadows. Ophelia could summon darkness at will, moulding it into shapes that danced and twirled around her fingertips. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ophelia felt an unusual pull. Shadows whispered to her, beckoning her to follow. Unable to resist the mysterious call, she ventured into the dense forest at the edge of town, where the shadows seemed to converge. As she delved deeper, the trees cast long, intricate patterns on the forest floor. Ophelia's heart quickened as she stepped into a hidden realm, bathed in perpetual twilight. The air was thick with enchantment, and strange, shadowy creatures flitted around her. In this hidden realm, Ophelia discovered a delicate balance between the light and dark. However, an ominous darkness loomed, threatening to tip the scales and engulf everything in eternal shadows. The once friendly creatures had grown restless and agitated, reflecting the growing imbalance. Guided by an ancient, wise shadow named Umbra, Ophelia learned that a malevolent force was seeking to consume the realm, throwing it into chaos. The shadow creatures, desperate for a savior, turned to Ophelia, the girl with the power to command shadows. Embracing her role as the guardian of balance, Ophelia embarked on a quest to find the mythical shadow crystal, the source of all shadow magic. She navigated through shadowy forests, faced riddles from wisps of darkness, and encountered trials that tested the limits of her abilities. Throughout her journey, Ophelia discovered the interconnectedness of light and shadow. She realized that true harmony came from embracing both aspects, not favoring one over the other. As she neared the heart of the realm, Ophelia encountered the malevolent force, a shadow entity known as Umbra Noctis, who sought to plunge everything into eternal darkness. In a climactic battle, Ophelia summoned all her strength and courage, combining the power of light and shadow. The shadow crystal responded to her innate understanding of balance, resonating with her energy. With a burst of brilliant light, Ophelia managed to banish Umbra Noctis, restoring peace to the hidden realm. As a token of gratitude, the shadow creatures gifted Ophelia a shimmering, ethereal cloak that allowed her to traverse between the worlds of light and shadow. She returned to Eldoria, bringing with her newfound wisdom and the realization that the true magic lay in the delicate dance between darkness and light. Ophelia continued to live her seemingly ordinary life in Eldoria, but she carried the enchantment of the hidden realm with her. The shadows that once whispered to her now remained her loyal companions, a reminder of the extraordinary journey that had shaped her destiny. The Embrace of Time. I want to tell you a story. In a small village nestled between towering mountains and lush forests, there lived a man named Peter. He was an intrepid explorer, known for his insatiable curiosity and unyielding determination. Legend spoke of a mythical fountain hidden deep within an uncharted jungle, a fountain that could bestow eternal youth upon those who found it. The tale had captured Peter's imagination, and he embarked on a quest to uncover the truth behind the legend. Equipping himself with a sturdy backpack, a map, and an unwavering spirit, Peter set out on a journey into the heart of the mysterious jungle. As he hacked his way through dense foliage and traversed treacherous terrain, the allure of eternal youth fueled his every step. The jungle held secrets, and Peter was determined to unravel them. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Peter faced countless challenges, rivers to cross, mountains to climb, and wild creatures to contend with. Yet, with each obstacle, his resolve only strengthened. His determination to find the fountain of youth became an obsession, blinding him to the beauty of the world around him. One day, weary and disheartened, Peter stumbled upon a clearing bathed in golden sunlight. At its centre stood an ancient tree, its branches reaching for the sky. Beneath its shade, an old man sat, wrinkled and weathered, but with eyes that sparkled with wisdom. Curiosity replacing his weariness, Peter approached the old man and shared his quest. The wise elder listened patiently before speaking. "Young one, the true fountain of youth is not a hidden spring, but the understanding that life's vitality lies in embracing the passage of time. Each wrinkle tells a story, each scar a lesson learned. To seek eternal youth is to deny the richness of experience that comes with growing old. At first, Peter dismissed the old man's words, eager to press on in his quest. Yet, as he continued his journey, a seed of doubt planted itself in his mind. The jungle, once an obstacle to overcome, now revealed its wonders: exotic flowers, vibrant creatures, and the soothing melody of unseen birds. The beauty of the world began to seep into Peter's heart. As Peter delved deeper into the jungle, he encountered challenges that tested not only his physical strength, but also his understanding of life. With each passing day, the weight of his obsession lifted, and a newfound appreciation for the present moment took its place. In the end, Peter never found the legendary fountain of youth. Instead, he discovered something far more valuable: the fountain of wisdom that flows from a life well lived. As he emerged from the jungle, he carried not the elixir of eternal youth, but a heart brimming with gratitude for the journey and the inevitability of time. The once determined explorer returned to his village, not as a seeker of immortality, but as a man who had found true vitality in embracing the ever-changing tapestry of life. The magical art. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Crestwood, there lived a young artist named Penny. Penny was an introverted soul, finding solace in the strokes of her pencil and the vibrant hues of her paintbrush. Her small attic studio became a haven where her imagination could run wild and her creativity knew no bounds. One rainy afternoon, while Penny was sketching a whimsical scene of a sunflower field, something magical happened. As she finished the final details on the paper, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow on her drawing. To her amazement, the colours seemed to come alive, and a gentle breeze filled the room. Penny couldn't believe her eyes. She thought it was a mere coincidence until it happened again with her next creation. This time, she drew a lively street market with bustling vendors and joyful customers. As she added the last few strokes, the aroma of imaginary spices wafted through the air, and Penny could almost hear the distant sounds of laughter. Intrigued by this newfound ability, Penny set out to test the limits of her drawings. She crafted scenes of serenity, laughter, and happiness, and each time she completed a piece, the magic unfolded. Her drawings had the power to bring joy and colour to the lives of those around her. Word of Penny's extraordinary talent spread throughout Crestwood. People from all walks of life flocked to witness the enchanting art that seemed to breathe life into the mundane. The once grey town began to transform into a vibrant canvas of happiness and positivity. Penny's drawings didn't just affect the physical world, they touched people's hearts and souls. A lonely elderly woman found comfort in a drawing of a cosy fireplace, and suddenly the warmth of companionship surrounded her. A troubled teenager discovered solace in a sketch of a starry night, feeling a connection to the vastness of the universe. As Penny's reputation grew, so did her impact on Crestwood. The town became a hub of creativity and inspiration, attracting artists and dreamers from far and wide. Penny, once a quiet and reserved artist, now found herself at the centre of a lively and thriving community. Yet amidst the joy she brought to others, Penny realised that she too had changed. The once introverted artist blossomed into a confident and expressive creator. Her own life had become a masterpiece, woven with the threads of love, friendship, and the colours of her imagination. And so, in the heart of Crestwood, Penny continued to sketch the tapestry of happiness, leaving a legacy that transcended the boundaries of paper and pencil. The magic of her art not only transformed the town, but also the artist herself, proving that sometimes the most remarkable discoveries are found within the strokes of a humble pencil. The Veiled Village. I want to tell you a story. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, an otherworldly mist draped itself around the landscape, veiling the secrets that lay within. The villagers had long grown accustomed to the enchanted fog that surrounded their homes, accepting it as a mysterious part of their everyday lives. However, the mist held secrets that only one person could unravel. Quinley, a young and curious girl, possessed a unique gift. She could see through illusions. Her sharp gaze cut through the magical haze like a beacon of truth. The villagers, unaware of Quinley's extraordinary ability, saw her as just an ordinary girl with an inquisitive spirit. Little did they know that she held the key to unlocking the mysteries concealed within the mist. As Quinley grew older, the allure of the enchanted fog beckoned her. She could sense that there was more to the village than met the eye. One misty morning, driven by an irresistible urge, she decided to venture beyond the boundaries of the village. As Quinley stepped into the swirling mist, the air became thick with magic. Shadows danced around her, and illusions tried to cloak the truth. But Quinley's perceptive eyes saw through the deception, revealing a hidden world that existed parallel to the village's reality. Through the mist, she discovered ancient ruins and forgotten paths leading to a realm of enchantment. As she traversed the mystical landscape, Quinley encountered mythical creatures and encountered the spirits that dwelled within the fog. Each encounter brought her closer to the heart of the village's secret. Deep within the mist, Quinley discovered a forgotten tale of a powerful sorceress who had cast a protective spell over the village centuries ago. The enchantment was meant to shield the villagers from an impending danger, but it came at a cost. Their memories and the truth about their origins were shrouded in illusions. Determined to free her people from the foggy veil of deception, Quinley delved into the heart of the enchantment. Armed with her ability to see through illusions, she confronted the ancient sorceress who, trapped in her own creation, yearned for release. Quinley, with compassion in her heart, unravelled the layers of magic, dispelling the illusions that had bound the village for so long. As the mist lifted, the villagers slowly regained their forgotten memories, and the truth of their history unfolded before them. The once veiled village emerged into the light, its true beauty and history laid bare. Quinley, the girl with the gift of sight, became a hero in the eyes of her people. The enchanted mist, now a distant memory, gave way to a newfound understanding and appreciation for the village's rich past. Quinley's journey not only lifted the enchantment that had shrouded her village, but also ignited a spark of curiosity and courage in the hearts of the villagers. As they embraced the truth and the magic that lingered in their midst, the village flourished in the light of a reality unencumbered by illusions. The Forest Alliance. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Eldoria, there lived a young girl named Regina. Regina possessed a unique gift that set her apart from the other villagers. She could communicate with animals. From the chirping birds to the wise old owls, every creature in the forest understood Regina, and she understood them. One day, word spread through the village that a group of developers planned to clear the nearby forest to make way for a new project. The people of Eldoria were distraught, for the forest was not just a collection of trees. It was a sanctuary for the animals and an integral part of the village's harmony. Regina, deeply connected to the creatures of the forest, felt the distress in their voices. Determined to protect her friends, she decided to form an alliance between the animals and the villagers. With her ability to converse with the woodland inhabitants, Regina held a meeting with the Forest Council, a gathering of wise animals led by the majestic Elderwood, an ancient and wise tree spirit. After much deliberation, the council agreed to join forces with Regina to save their home. Together they devised a plan to peacefully protest the destruction of the forest. Regina, acting as the voice for the animals, spoke to the villagers, explaining the importance of the forest for both them and the creatures that called it home. As Regina and the animals peacefully demonstrated at the edge of the woods, the villagers began to see the beauty and significance of the forest. The once sceptical villagers were moved by the heartfelt pleas of the animals, conveyed through Regina's words. Eldoria started to unite, and the momentum of the movement grew stronger. Regina's efforts caught the attention of a sympathetic elder in the village council, who proposed an alternative plan that would preserve the forest while still allowing for development in other areas. The compromise was met with approval from both the villagers and the forest council. In the end, Regina's ability to bridge the gap between humans and animals saved the forest. The village and the creatures of the woods learned to coexist, fostering a newfound respect for nature. Regina, hailed as a hero, continued to be the liaison between the two worlds, ensuring that harmony prevailed for generations to come. And so, the story of Regina, the girl who spoke to animals, became a legend in Eldoria, a tale of unity, understanding, and the enduring power of compassion. The lightning in Lilith. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time in the mystical kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a young girl named Lilith. Lilith was no ordinary girl. She possessed a rare and extraordinary gift, the ability to control lightning. From a young age, she had struggled to conceal her powers, fearing the judgment of the people in her peaceful kingdom. As Lilith grew older, a dark shadow crept across Eldoria. An ancient evil, long forgotten but never truly gone, began to stir. Its malevolent presence threatened to engulf the entire kingdom in darkness. The elders, wise and learned, recognized the signs and turned to Lilith for help. Reluctantly, Lilith stepped into the role fate had chosen for her. She began to train under the guidance of the kingdom's most skilled sorcerers, learning to harness and control her lightning powers. With each passing day, her confidence grew, and the vibrant energy of the storm responded to her every command. As Lilith honed her abilities, she uncovered the ancient prophecy that foretold of a chosen one with the power to combat the returning evil. She was that chosen one, destined to wield the lightning to protect her kingdom. The weight of the responsibility settled on her shoulders, but Lilith was determined to face the challenge head-on. The ancient evil, sensing Lilith's awakening, unleashed its dark forces upon Eldoria. Storm clouds gathered, and a sinister aura enveloped the land. Lilith knew that the time had come to put her training to the test. Standing on the battlements of the kingdom, Lilith raised her arms to the sky. A crackle of energy surged through her fingertips, and lightning danced across the clouds. With focused determination, she directed the bolts toward the encroaching darkness. Thunder roared, echoing her defiance. The battle between light and darkness raged on, but Lilith's control over the lightning proved to be a formidable force. She pushed back the malevolent shadows, forcing the ancient evil to retreat. Eldoria, once on the brink of despair, now bathed in the warm glow of renewed hope. Lilith's bravery and mastery of her powers became legendary in Eldoria. The people hailed her as a hero, and her name was etched in the annals of the kingdom's history. But Lilith remained humble, knowing that the true strength lay not just in her abilities, but in the unity and resilience of her people. With the ancient evil banished once more, Lilith continued to protect Eldoria, ensuring that her kingdom remained a beacon of light in a world sometimes touched by shadows. And as the years passed, the tale of the girl who controlled lightning became a cherished legend, a reminder that even the darkest forces could be vanquished by the brilliance of one determined heart. The music of Melodia. I want to tell you a story. In the bustling city of Harmonyville, where music flowed through the air like a gentle breeze, lived a talented young musician named Sonia. She had a magical touch with her violin, and her melodies had the power to transport listeners to another world. Yet despite her gift, Sonia hesitated to share her music beyond the walls of her small apartment. One day, as Sonia practiced a hauntingly beautiful tune, a shimmering glow caught her eye. To her surprise, a dazzling songbird perched on her windowsill. Its feathers glowed in hues of blue and gold, and its eyes sparkled with an otherworldly wisdom. Sonia was enchanted. The songbird introduced itself as Melodia, a magical creature with the ability to enhance the power of music. Intrigued by Sonia's talent, Melodia offered to accompany her on a musical journey to unlock the true potential of her melodies. Sonia, curious and excited, agreed without hesitation. As they ventured through meadows, forests, and mountaintops, Sonia played her violin, and Melodia's ethereal song harmonized with her melodies. The duo created a symphony that resonated with the very heart of nature, enchanting all who heard it. However, Sonia soon realized that Melodia's magic wasn't just about creating beautiful music. It was about sharing it with others. They encountered people in need of comfort, joy, and inspiration. Sonia hesitated at first, but Melodia encouraged her to play for them. As Sonia shared her music with the world, she witnessed the transformative power it had on people's lives. One day, they came across a village suffering from a prolonged drought. The people were weary, and the land was barren. Sonia, moved by their plight, played a melody that echoed the rain, and Melodia's song became a gentle downpour. The village flourished once again, and its grateful residents celebrated Sonia's gift. As Sonia continued her musical journey, she and Melodia touched the lives of many. Sonia realized that her gift wasn't meant to be kept hidden but to be shared with the world, bringing solace and joy to those who needed it most. With newfound purpose, Sonia and Melodia travelled far and wide, spreading the magic of their music. The enchanted songbird taught Sonia that true fulfillment came not just from personal success, but from the joy she brought to others through her music. In the end, Sonia became not only a renowned musician, but also a symbol of hope and inspiration. The magical songbird, Melodia, continued to accompany her on her musical adventures, ensuring that the world would forever be touched by the enchanting melodies they created together. And so, the city of Harmonyville truly lived up to its name, resonating with the harmonies of Sonia's magical music for generations to come. The Telekinetic Rebellion. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, in the mystical realm of Eldoria, a once prosperous kingdom lay shrouded in darkness under the rule of a tyrannical sorcerer named Malgrim. His malevolent powers knew no bounds, and his iron grip on the land stifled the once vibrant spirit of the people. In the heart of Eldoria, a small village named Everwood struggled under Malgrim's oppressive rule. It was here that a young and courageous girl named Tara discovered her extraordinary gift, the power of telekinesis. Tara's ability to move objects with her mind was a secret she guarded closely, knowing that such powers could put her in great danger if discovered by Malgrim's spies. As tales of Tara's telekinetic prowess spread throughout the village, whispers of hope ignited among the oppressed citizens. Tara, fueled by a burning desire to liberate her people, decided to embrace her destiny and lead a rebellion against the tyrant who held Eldoria captive. Gathering a small band of like-minded individuals, including skilled warriors, cunning strategists, and even a few magic users who dared defy Malgrim's dominance, Tara began to plan the rebellion. The group trained in secret, honing their skills and biding their time until the moment to strike arrived. As the rebels grew in strength, so did Malgrim's paranoia. Rumours of a resistance reached his ears, and he intensified his efforts to quash any dissent. Unbeknownst to Tara, Malgrim possessed dark magic that allowed him to sense disruptions in the mystical energy of Eldoria, and he was closing in on her and her band of rebels. The fateful day of reckoning arrived as the rebels, armed with newfound determination and Tara's telekinetic abilities, launched their assault on Malgrim's fortress. The battle raged on, with magic colliding and swords clashing in a symphony of chaos. Tara, fueled by her determination and guided by her telekinetic powers, stood at the forefront of the rebellion. In a climactic confrontation, Tara faced Malgrim, the embodiment of tyranny. The sorcerer unleashed his dark magic upon her, but Tara, drawing on the strength of her people's hopes and her own newfound abilities, pushed back with a telekinetic force that Malgrim had never witnessed before. The battle between light and darkness reached its zenith As Tara's telekinetic power overwhelmed Malgrim's malevolence, the tyrant's reign crumbled, and the people of Eldoria were free once more. Tara, the courageous girl with the power of telekinesis, emerged as a symbol of hope and resilience, guiding her people toward a new era of peace and prosperity. The once shrouded kingdom of Eldoria basked in the warmth of a bright future, thanks to the indomitable spirit of a young rebel named Tara. The Healing Flower. I want to tell you a story. In the heart of a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there lived a skilled apothecary named Virginia. Her tiny shop, adorned with dried herbs and mysterious potions in glass bottles, was a haven for the ailing and the desperate seeking relief from their maladies. One day, as Virginia was wandering through the woods in search of rare herbs, she stumbled upon a hidden glade bathed in golden sunlight. In the center of the glade stood a solitary flower, its petals radiating a mesmerizing glow. Virginia, recognizing it as a blossom she had never encountered before, approached cautiously. Upon closer inspection, she realized the flower was unlike any other she had ever seen. Its delicate petals shimmered in hues of silver and gold, and a gentle fragrance wafted through the air. Virginia knew instinctively that this flower held extraordinary powers. Legend spoke of a mythical bloom said to possess the ability to heal any ailment. Excitement and caution warred within Virginia's heart as she carefully plucked the rare flower. She returned to her apothecary shop, where the news of her discovery spread like wildfire. Villagers flocked to her doorstep, hoping for a cure to ailments that had plagued them for years. Virginia, aware of the flower's potential, approached her work with meticulous care. She crafted potions and salves infused with the essence of the mystical blossom, and soon the once ailing villagers were miraculously restored to health. Word of Virginia's gift spread far and wide, and people from neighbouring villages sought her aid. However, as the demand for the healing flower grew, Virginia began to notice unintended consequences. The balance of nature in the forest began to shift. Animals that once thrived in abundance started to dwindle, and the once vibrant glade where she found the flower began to lose its lustre. Troubled by the consequences of her actions, Virginia sought the counsel of the village elder, a wise and ancient woman who understood the delicate harmony of nature. The elder warned Virginia of the flower's price, explaining that its power was connected to the balance of the natural world. The more it was used, the more nature would suffer. Determined to right the wrong, Virginia decided to use the last of the flower's essence to create a potion that would restore balance to the forest. As she poured the potion onto the ground, the glade began to shimmer with renewed vitality. The once dwindling animals returned, and the vibrant colours of nature were restored. Virginia learned a valuable lesson that day, that even the most powerful remedies must be used with wisdom and responsibility. From then on, she dedicated herself to preserving the delicate balance between healing and nature, ensuring that her skills as an apothecary would not come at the cost of the world around her. And so, Virginia continued her work, not only as a healer, but also as a guardian of the mystical secrets hidden within the heart of the forest. The Fluttering Friends, I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time in the magical kingdom of Etherealia, there lived a young girl named Wendy. Wendy possessed a rare and extraordinary gift, the ability to understand the language of butterflies. Butterflies were not just colourful creatures to Wendy, they were her friends and confidants, whispering secrets of the wind and tales of distant lands. One day, as Wendy strolled through the enchanting meadows of Etherealia, her butterfly companions fluttered around her, their wings agitated. Through their delicate language, Wendy learned of an impending disaster that threatened to engulf her beloved kingdom. A dark and powerful force, known as the Shadow Veil, was spreading across the lands, draining the vibrant magic that sustained Etherealia. Wendy knew she couldn't stand idly by. Determined to save her kingdom, she embarked on a perilous journey, guided by the wisdom of her butterfly friends. The butterflies led her through dense forests, across sparkling rivers, and into the heart of mystical mountains. Along the way, Wendy encountered challenges that tested her courage and resilience. As Wendy ventured deeper into the realm, she discovered that the source of the Shadow Veil was an ancient and malevolent sorceress who sought to claim the magical essence of Etherealia for herself. The sorceress had imprisoned the benevolent spirits that guarded the kingdom, leaving it vulnerable to darkness. With the guidance of the butterflies, Wendy gathered a group of allies, a wise old wizard, a fearless warrior, and a mischievous sprite. Together they faced treacherous trials, solving riddles and overcoming magical obstacles. Along the way, Wendy's connection with the butterflies proved invaluable, as they revealed hidden paths and warned of impending dangers. At last, the courageous group reached the heart of Etherealia, where the sorceress awaited them in her shadowy fortress. A fierce battle ensued, with Wendy using her unique ability to communicate with the butterflies to disrupt the sorceress's dark spells. The wizard, warrior, and sprite each played a crucial role, combining their strengths to weaken the sorceress's power. In a climactic moment, Wendy summoned the butterflies to create a dazzling display of light and colour, blinding the sorceress and breaking the Shadow Veil's grip on Etherealia. The imprisoned spirits were released, restoring balance and harmony to the kingdom. As gratitude filled the air, Wendy's butterfly friends fluttered around her in a joyful dance. The once threatened land now thrived with renewed magic, and Wendy, with her extraordinary gift, became a revered heroine in the hearts of the people. From that day forward, the butterflies and their whispers of wind continued to accompany Wendy, ensuring the everlasting peace and prosperity of the magical kingdom of Etherealia.